driving. Trees flew by. Me and Dell were singing. Little runaway. I was flying. Yeah, running down a dream that never would come to me. Working on a mystery. Going wherever it leads. Running down a dream.
From the high banks of Talladega to the short track in Bristol, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Jonathan Ramos, the voice of NR. Alongside with me, Jarrett Lundberg, and it's going to get ready to get dicey under the lights in Thunder Valley. We got a lot of fun to go at it right here, right now. We went from the high banks of the Super Speedway, 2.66 miles, to now the shortest track on the schedule. We have the high banks from the top to the bottom lane that'll be coming in tonight. Jarrett, what can we expect?
Absolute calamity. I mean, come on. It's Bristol. It's Bristol, baby. Come on. I think what we're going to see tonight is drivers that are comers and goers. We're going to see a lot of lap traffic be an issue for those front runners, but I think we're going to see a lot of front runners at that. So I think we're going to see a race that we won't really be able to predict until the very end of the race, maybe at the final turn on the final lap.
Now, if you're a viewer, you're just tuning in, you look at how many laps are tonight, you're like, wow, 300, that must be a lot of racing going on. Here's the thing. It is right now predicted to be the shortest race of the season. Talladega, I think runtime was just as long as Daytona. And you look at Atlanta, that was only 200 laps. A lot of drivers said, hey, it was go time right from the start. Couldn't make any mistakes. We kind of expect something like that to happen again. Why is that? Well, guess what? The lap time is around 14 to 15 seconds. You put 300 laps in, you're looking at what? An hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45-minute long race with maybe 7-8 cautions, if that even happens. Nothing you gotta look at. We don't have 40 drivers tonight. We will have bump day. 32 drivers will take the field, and the big thing is, how do you stay out of trouble?
I think the way you stay out of trouble is running your own race. Don't try and run that guy down that's half a straightaway away, because like I said, there's going to be calamity. There's going to be aggression. You have to run your race, yes, but also be aggressive. Get that spot when the hole opens up, but don't try and cause a wreck, because no fast repairs, just like all season. No takebacks, no nothing. There's really nothing give back in this race. It has to be all take, but at the same time, run your own race.
A big thing about Darlington was the worry of this car. We took the Gen 6 stock car out to South Carolina, and the next thing you know, everyone's like, hey, no fast repair. We're worried about that right side. The crush panel's coming in, losing down RPMs. You have to worry about that. Now dial it to 10 at Bristol because of a couple things. One, lap machines are a nuisance. Dial to 10 compared to Darlington. We've seen before, with it being a very fast-paced short track, you're going to have drivers not very predictable that are going to lap down. Some may run the bottom, some may run the top, some may switch it up, and we saw with NR Night just a couple days ago, that was a problem. So keep an eye with lap machines. It could make the difference on drivers making up time and losing time. The big thing is, this is not the next gen. You look at Talladega, how many cautions do we have before lap 30? Like 3, 4? The reason was because the next gen was built like a tank. Well, the Gen 6 is built like a paper mache. You hit that right side, you could be out of this race, contention-wise, racing-wise, or at least in contention to win the full thing. A lot of unknowns heading into tonight.
Well, and that's where the lap traffic comes in. You can be taken out of a dominant run simply from somebody else's mistake. Somebody in 30th trying to win the race from 3 laps down could end up taking someone who's led 200 laps tonight out of contention for a win, and someone who hasn't even been around the front all night can capitalize off that. That is what you're going to have to watch. Whose mistake cost somebody a win, a top 5, a top 10, heck, maybe even a championship lead depending on luck.
Well, that's what we got to look at. Demos won Talladega. That was worst case scenario for this field. And everyone said championships locked up. How do you lose a championship now after finishing 6 straight races in the top 10. Well, you go to Bristol and you have the worst case scenario for the 9, which is a possibility on multiple occasions. One, this is not Mosteller's best track. We saw from NR9 2 days ago that the luck really isn't there at this racing surface. Number 2, it is very easy to get caught up in other people's messes. And number 3, this is, in my opinion, Douglas Newbigging's best track, and he's still a championship contender. Braden Movick's best track, one of the best tracks for him. He's still a championship contender, and there's other drivers in here that are still going for trophy hunting. It's not all in the bag just yet for the 9. The real thing is he has to have a solid Bristol, an average Indy, and you could then go into Michigan saying, okay, hey, this is his race to win. This is championship to lock up. It's all over. Calling the dogs. It's all done.
But we can't even look ahead yet. We got Bristol tonight. 300 laps at Bristol. Yes, it'll be short. It'll be fast-paced. It'll be beaten and banging good old-fashioned NASCAR racing. But you can't look past it just because of how much of a gauntlet this is going to be. We might see people we all pick up front, be up front all night, and then last 100 laps, they're in the 30s.
Let's go ahead and get into this. For a lot of viewers back home, they're wondering, how is Bristol going to work? We're going to get it done in 2 seconds here before we get to our picks. Here's the thing. At one point during this race, you will have the old school conveyor belt Bristol. And then at another part of this race, you will have around the 2010s Bristol where they're up near the outside wall. And then you'll have modern day Bristol where it's any lane goes. It is going to change so quick. If you're a viewer watching at home, look at the racing surface on lap 1. Then look at the racing surface on lap 100. It's going to rubber up all night long. It's going to be great. It's going to be the best of the best tonight. Jarrett, the thing is, it's time for the Fast Five. Who's your underdog?
Well, my underdog is somebody who I saw putting down some really fast laps, and that is Joyner in that 28. I think we're going to see him up front, maybe in the top 10. We don't see him every week, but I think he'll be pretty good this week.
It's going to be interesting to see what that 28 can do. We don't talk about Joyner at all, but when you go to Bristol, you got to talk about drivers that also don't win a lot. Some drivers have their one and only win at this track. Devins Baker, he's racing tonight. Douglas Newbigging was a no-show in NR9 until he started winning here. Bristol is an underdog track for some, but also a big pain for others. Here's another thing you got to look at. William Schmidt, in my opinion, knows how to close races out that show calamity, that show trouble early, show trouble through the middle. He just finds a way through. I got to go with William Schmidt here as my underdog pick. He's been a no-show all season. Time to kick the dust up here for the 79.
And he has that ability to be incredibly fast just out of nowhere, like you were saying. So he could be up front tonight. But there's somebody else who I think, even though this isn't his best track, is going to be up front. It's happened at every race this year, he said, isn't his best track, and he somehow gets a top 10 in every race. Daniel Mosteller, Demos in the 9, he's gonna be up front. It's a matter of if he finishes there.
That's a big thing too, and I know I said at Talladega, I'm like, he's done, he's gonna get right. Then halfway through I said, oh no, this is his race to win. You know, sometimes you can just tell when you watch these drivers race ever so often who's gonna do what. Now I think Demos has a lot more at stake tonight, but I think he's also worried about just surviving. Just like Talladega, he needs to survive. The question is, does he catch lightning in a bottle? I think that changes for this one because my Fast Four pick, it's going to go to one of the best drivers in NR9 in America, but statistically, one of the worst drivers in the Cup Series. He is all the way in the back in points, but guess what? One win changes the season. Give me Justin Champagne. Don Julio going top of the board.
Well, speaking of Don Julio, I actually brought some for this. I got a prop because he's in my Fast Four as well. I have him third tonight, and I'll tell you what, he wins this race, I'll have a shot or just a swig of this Don Julio after the race. Here, you take
Yeah,
this.
I'll take that.
It's your house for me.
Well, it's an interesting way to go ahead and put it. Here's something you got to look at, too. How about the drivers that have statistically won on iRacing? Outside of the Cup Series, outside of NR9, I'm going to go with Anthony Burrows, and here's why. Former Coke Series driver, and he looks at the small details. Last time in NR9 in America, we had Watkins Glen. Frank D'Angelo's and Thurston got into each other. Both are still in disagreements of who was what and where and why. But somehow Burrows did not get involved in that wreck. You watch back in the replay why. He understood that Frank had an issue heading to the bus stop, and he was having an issue in the carousel. He hugged on the bottom. You need to have full-on focus for 300 laps to win at Bristol, and if someone's going to get it done today, they have to be near perfect. Give me Anthony Burrows. He knows how to do that.
Well, when I'm looking at the guys in the top of the heap of the points, you know, the top 5, the top 4, I see guys that I think are going to run well here tonight, and I'm looking at my list. I checked through it multiple times, and I got to go with Thurston for my second pick. He's been fast, and sometimes it doesn't work out, but he was also pretty darn fast at our last short track race, so I'm going to pick him to be up in probably the second spot tonight, but going for the win.
That's a big thing, too. You got to look at the fact that he was another one that got through the calamity at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway and still had a fight late against Demos. Here's the big thing. You have to look at drivers that are also successful at Thunder Valley. It doesn't matter what type of race it was, whether it was 10 cars finishing, 32 cars finishing, a bump and run and somehow finding lightning in a bottle. Douglas Newbigin knows how to get it around this track in any standpoint. He's confident, he's strong. I think we see the Roasted Gems Coffee in victory lane with the 7 on the door.
Well, and he needs this. He is second in the points, but there's a large gap. But he can cut about 20% of that points lead off no matter what with the win, even if Demos finishes second. So he needs this, and I feel like that desperation is going to push him towards the front. But we got to go with the guys we think are going to win. And for me, it's a night race. It's Bristol. You said it was one of it, if not his best track. I'm going Braden Movick. That 42 looks great in the nighttime, and I think it's going to look great in victory lane tonight.
I like it. I like the pick, but here's the thing. You got to look at the trends. The trends. What are the trends looking like? 6 races this entire season and 6 different winners. We thought by now we would have maybe a driver with 1 or 2 wins. Let me rephrase that, not 1 or 2 wins, 2 or 3 wins, and then be the championship leader. One with 1 win was the championship leader before he got that win. And the thing is, nothing is trending right now to us seeing a new winner. Why? There's too many great drivers out there that still have not won. But I say forget the trends because Braden Movick is going to victory lane. Quick at Nashville. Got dumped out of the way. Could have had something at Talladega. Ended up, what? Getting dumped. Down off corner exit. Let's look at other tracks. Yes, fast at Darlington. Got it done. Fast at Atlanta. Almost got it done. Fast in Daytona. He's been fast ever. The only trend you got to see is the 42 going top of the board.
Hey, we can finally agree on something for
It's about
once.
time.
How about that?
Took just about 12 weeks.
Yeah, but we got there. We finally got there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and start things a little early. It's time for driver intros because we have bump day and we have to go ahead and check who's going to go ahead and get it done. They're all on track. Let's head trackside from Thunder Valley. Spencer Burns, final time into 3 and 4. King's gonna send it. No deuce for the line. This is what it comes down to. The tri-spell's gonna end. It's victory for the 06. Spencer Burns gets it done in round 2 at Georgia. Make it Atlanta. Vila in Budweiser, victorious from Auto Club Speedway. Jim Cadell Jr. stunts the show in North Carolina. Newbigin going wheel to wheel. That's back to 1 and 2. Cooties goes high. Stone goes high. Walker goes low. 2 up by 2, shuffling them out. And now Joey Stone's got to block every single lane. He looks to the middle. Movick's gonna send him. Eberhard goes around. Douglas Newbigin is gonna win it in a walk-off. Victorious from North Wilkesboro.
Now, Burrows looks low.
Oh, he turned up!
And Mosteller goes to the lead. Daniel Mosteller is going to win at Talladega.
What just happened? Mosteller, first win of the season for the High Makes Talladega. It's going to be a drag race back to the start-finish line. Skipper 3, car 97, Daytona 24. At the line, Matt Skipper, first career win at Talladega.
Double wide behind these 4, but DeAngelis pushes Armstrong ahead. Brower now getting a run. The 3 of Scott gets it to the top 5 or single file.
Thurston shuts the door through 3 and 4. Who's gonna win it? Mosteller drives it in deep. Thurston's able to hold on to it, and he's gonna walk it off for the Music City. James Thurston victorious. Swaggy gets to the rear end. He gets in the back end of him. The bump and run at 1 turn 4. Max Swearigan, victorious from Long Pond. Jeffries finishes third. Alex Anderson comes home fourth. That's gonna do it. It's gonna be a controversial win, but it's gonna be a W. Joseph Armstrong, victorious from the Coliseum. Max Steinmeier trying to make it back. He will. He's gonna win it at Talladega. Jordan Brandt cha-ching for Alabama. Andrew Cooties 24. Frank D'Angelo 69. Andrew Cooties has just won the Daytona 500. Terrell Baker through the grass wins the 2011 Coca-Cola 600. Giles on the outside. Fluffy finding his way to the lead. Let me rephrase that. Finding his way to the catbird seat to find his way then to the lead. We stay green. Everyone on their feet. Abraham Vila, David Joyner. Joyner looking for his first win in our night in America. Final time through 3 and 4. Kevin Champagne gets bumped out of the way. Justin Champagne victorious in the clash. Scott up into the outside wall, and it's the greatest comeback in NR history. Braden Mudnick is going to walk it off from Darlington Raceway. Wilkerson 43, D'Angelis 69. Jacob Wilkerson first career win at Talladega. Make room, TCB, because there's a new driver with 2 e-ticket events. One in NR Night in America. It's the way of the 48. It's the way of the Chevrolet. Dodge is defeated as the bow ties go victorious. Down home in Indiana, Chad Thurquist victorious in the Brickyard 400. The short 2, 3 wide for the lead. 4 wide for the lead around the outside. It's Bomar. They're going to make it back. Salamanca, 1 to go from Talladega. We're going to see a new winner for an e-ticket event. Anthony Burrows is going to win the Into the AM Southern 500 at Darlington. On turn number 4 for the final time, Tinsley Blockside. Demos has got to make a run to the short shoot for the final time. All bets are off. Tyler Tinsley victorious from Daytona. Face up goes to 75. William Schmidt is going to win an e-ticket event. The underdogs rule in South Florida. Schmidt, SKS and Phoenix Racing get it done from Homestead Miami Speedway and win the Ford 400.
Wait, watch Dale. Watch the move. He goes down low.
He hesitated. He couldn't commit.
And then he goes back up. That's on Dale.
No, that's 110%.
He wasn't clear at all.
Dominguez on the outside. Vila all over him. Shamila stuck in neutral and dropping back. That's Dominguez out of the inside lane. He's going to hold that wheel to wheel. Brings the daylight to Vila on the far side. For the final time, Cuddle way too far back, and Kevin Champagne's gonna get it done in one hot night. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway as we get ready to go ahead and lock it up. Hey, 2 minutes left of practice. Before we go ahead and qualify, we talked about it. 32 drivers will go ahead and take the green flag tonight. Really excited to see how that goes down. But we want to go ahead and give you guys some details before we go ahead and drop this hammer. Jarrett, what's pit speed looking like before we go ahead and go green?
Pit speed is looking at 35 miles per hour. If there is that off chance of a green flag pit stop, getting off the banking down to your pit lane, that is going to be key to getting a win if we go long. If not, speeding on pit road and put you in the back with a bunch of people at Bristol, still pretty big and still pretty bad if that happens. So you got to mind your pit speed tonight.
I want to point something out that I didn't talk about in Countdown to Green. Right when we put the driver in, I was like, oh no, we forgot to mention this. Hey, the fastest driver may not win tonight. You got to point that out right away. And we talked about it just briefly. We said, hey, that bottom lane is going to be big, at least to start. You're going to see a lot of those drivers go down there. But if you watched NR9 on Sunday, you saw that farthest groove came in, drivers in the middle, and every viewer was like, look at the racing surface. Let's just rub it up. Everyone's running the groove a little bit differently. And that's something you got to keep an eye on tonight, because if lap traffic comes in, you may be the fastest in clean air, but can you get around these guys the fastest before second, third, and fourth start creeping on it. We saw that with Mosteller, saw that with Burrows. We've seen issues like that with the Champagne Bros. Both of them are in. And Kevin Champagne just recently won a race. He won a race number 5, and this is another one. That's his best track.
And something they're going to have to mind, like you said, is tires. We talked to the drivers before we went live. They were saying this concrete track, it rips them up. We're either going to get really, really loose or really, really tight. One way or another, these cars are going to drive evil tonight, which means we're probably going to have a lot of fun watching that, because evil race cars racing against each other is fun racing. At least to me it is.
In some cases, if a driver's complaining, it could be a good thing. If they're complaining too much, it could be a bad thing. We've heard, hey, the car drives like a boat after 70 laps. We can't pass anyone, quote unquote. Can't pass anyone after 70 laps, and then all of a sudden you see them making moves left and right, trying to find their way through. It's a big thing tonight. Mind games are going to be huge. Drivers can talk to each other throughout the entire race. We've seen it affect others before. When you get in each other's head, start losing a little bit of time. And the big thing you got to keep an eye out for is this may be the second race of this year where we do not have green flag stops. It's possible. We've seen it before, but I mean, lap 150 is where they'll be pitting anyways.
That's halfway. I mean, once you hit halfway, you know there will be no green flag pit stops in this race if you haven't seen them already. So that is going to be very key. If you do have to do green flag pit stops, though, do you just see everybody shoot onto pit road at once? You see somebody try and maybe go a little longer, try and lap everyone? It's going to be interesting. But even without green flag stop, strategy, whether it's how many tires you take, do you pit on that last restart, whatever it might be, it still is going to be big in this race.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see. Well, we're going trackside this time by to set your field. That's David Joyner onto the racing surface. If you're just tuning in on the Icebergs channel, you tune into all the NR Cup Series with nothing on NR9. We did update the overlays just a little bit. Thin stripe lets you see more of the action. Gives a nice crisp feel. Top side working his way through 3 and 4.
And this is my underdog pick for tonight. I have a good feeling he'll put up a pretty good lap.
Joyner down on the inside, gets a drive off corner exit that time, rolls his way through, he comes out P2. More machines continue to roll back around. Let's look. Right side of our screen, you got Thurston back there in 4th, now 5th. Braden Movick up to 8th. Everybody's dialed on in.
Now, John, how many laps do these guys have to put up that fast lap?
Well, they're going to have 4 just in case we have an overflow of drivers joining on in. Jacob Wilkerson, top of the board. I'm telling you, this man is on a high. Did you see what happened Sunday?
Yep.
He won. I wouldn't say in a controversial fashion, but he won it against the most controversial driver. That's Frank DeAngelis. He put a big block on him. Frank had a big stoppage, and Wilkerson went top of the board. But how about Braden Movick?
I think we made a good choice with our pick, but Thurston's up there too on the front row as we run 18 through.
Kenny Reel rolling on in. Nicholas Hook. Now let's give some updates. Joey Stone, Gary Owen, they were slated to race. Last second, both of them were having troubles. They could race tonight. They could not race tonight. But if they don't qualify, they're getting bumped anyway.
Yes, that's how it'll go tonight, no matter who shows up when. Points leader Daniel Mosteller up in the 13th spot now. Brower in the top 10 as we run. But right now, a 14:47 set by Braden Movick. That is a time to beat for the pole. You get a bonus point, and he desperately needs that for the championship. Here's Vila, who's sitting 3rd on the board in that Martin Truex-esque car. And you're starting to see again, rolling around the top, diving down low.
Everyone's holding the inside lane, at least for now, because there's no rubber buildup on the track. Douglas Newbigging onto the racing surface. Roasted Gems Coffee, number 7. He's going to jump outside. We were starting to see a lot of that here at Bristol. You want to give up that out lap. You got to flyer down on it. 14:47. If you're a viewer, do not let 300 laps think or have you make you think, oh, it's going to be a long race. They're dropping 14:47s. We could be done very early.
Well, and Abraham Vila jumps up to the front row as we're running. Newbigging trying to put down another good lap. He's 11th, and there is Burrows putting his lap down.
Burrows to the outside, off corner exit, slates it back to the line in the Mobile One Ford. Looks left side of your screen. No deuce. This is going to be his lap to the inside of 1 and 2.
Well, and I also say, how about Dale Tanhart getting up into the top 20? I believe he has to qualify his way in, and with this lap, it stands he will.
Very easy in and out. Congratulations for that. Burrows up to 4th. Tanhart up to 17th. New paint scheme for him. No deuce. Kenny Real back there in 20th. Chad Jeffries rolled around back in the 21st position. William Schmidt still slated to qualify. Still looking for him to roll around the racetrack. He's got the Pit Viper Toyota to the outside of 3 and 4.
Now he has the ability to just put a bad, fast lap down. Let's see as he crosses the line. Takes it high to start out with.
I think he's been one of the last ones to qualify.
Yeah, he very well could go straight to the top of the board and upset Mubik and Vila.
Schmidt back to the line. Still looking for a victory on the season. And it's not able to get it done. 22nd quickest, Braden Mubik in a brand new scheme, top of the board.
And he's going to get that bonus point for the pole. Already starting to dig a little bit more in that lead because he's also got to fight guys like Newbigging and Thurston as well.
I'll tell you this right now. If you're a viewer, early on in this season, not a lot of viewers rooted for Mubik. And then all of a sudden, the last couple of months, there's been a hardcore following for this driver. And you see it in the live chat. You have drivers that don't like the 42. You got drivers that absolutely love the 42. But with Demos being the championship leader and your fan favorite, the following for Mubik has gone up exponentially. It's crazy how high it's gone. Get the pole, get the win, you're back in this, and you're going to have to do very well at Indy.
He is going to, and he is pretty good from what it seems like at Michigan. Chicagoland, I have faith in him. So he needs to start making up these points now. Newbigging, Thurston also have to, and great start as Newbigging right now will start 13th, Thurston 3rd, and Mubik, as we said, the pole sitter.
Let's get ready to go green, ladies and gentlemen, and our night in America, fueling victories all year long.
We're going to get them lined up for 300 laps at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And this could be, like we said, the quickest race of the year with the pacing, with the racing, with the time, or we could see an all-out slugfest similar to what we saw at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Here we go. Mubik, Vila, row number 1. Thurston, Burrows, row number 2. The Deuce back there with Mosteller, row number 3. Yeah, start worrying right now, Jarrett. Can we get an update here on the points?
Well, at the moment, the point standings sit, at least with Mubik getting that, as he and Newbigging tied for second, 53 back of Mosteller. Now you can make up 59 points in a race, and while that is a huge amount to make up now, over the course of including this 4 races, still very doable. You have races like this, a wild card, the Bristol night race. You have the Brickyard coming up in 2 weeks. Michigan, which is going to be crazy with the COTs. And of course, well, you got to have my hometown track here, Chicagoland.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see. And the thing is, we got that Gen 4 car that we've been doing in NR night. Have you seen the difference on the horsepower?
It's amazing.
Here's something I want to point out. For the viewers watching back home, when you see that Gen 4 and you start thinking, hey, why is that driver losing speed after just absolutely owning it the last 10 laps? It is crazy the fatigue you have carrying that car on the track. You do that for 400 miles for a finale, and if Mubik wins, this 42 car gets it done. And he gets it done at Indy, which he's good at, and Michigan, which he's also good at. I'm just saying, it's going to be the battle of the best. It's 9 versus 42. Place your bets in Thunder Valley because we have 300 laps to go around this Ring of Fire. It's showtime in Tennessee.
And we're finally rolling. The 42 and the 1 leading them off the pits. And we have just a short time before we're green.
Time to go ahead and kick the dust up just one more time. Hey, let's say those magical words before we get started tonight. God speed drivers. You are go for throttle up, bow tie, lockout, road number 1. Chevy Ford, road number 2. Next time by, it's the one to go. This time by, we'll put the lights back on. Big thing is, rubber up the track just a little bit, get everything kind of locked on in, because when we come back around, it's all or nothing.
This track is gonna, like you said, change through the night. So it's almost like splitting the race, what would you say, in thirds and half. You have almost different races put together where guys are going to have to adapt. And that's been the name of the game this year. Those who adapt quickly run up front and win these races.
Let's get it done. The one to go this time by. It's time to sound the siren as we get ready to roll from Thunder Valley. A lot to look forward here tonight. Is it gonna be the lockout for the night? Can the 42 make a late season charge for a championship? We got 300 laps to figure it out.
And I can't wait for it. Let's get those lights up. Let's get it green.
Back to the line. Mavic ready to roll. Vila ready to roll. 300 to get it done. It's a sold-out virtual crowd. Viewers watching back at home, turn it up and enjoy, but make sure you strap it down, whatever it is, a laptop, TV, phone, your iWatch, does not matter because it's jumping up and down as we get ready to take the green.
Because it's Bristol, baby.
Time to roll. Through 3 and 4 to go ahead and get it started. One thing about this track is how loud it gets from the stands to the cars. Just one more time as we get ready to roll. Pace car makes a hard left on the pit road. And without further ado, let's light the fuse from Thunder Valley. Mavic out to a charge through 1 and 2. Vila right behind, still holding back to that wheel to wheel. It's Thurston downstairs trying to make a charge. Burrows back to 4th. It's the Deuce looking for a way behind. Mavic's going to lead lap number 1.
And right behind him, a half second to Vila. They're single file back there, all falling to that bottom line, trying to run each other down. First battle between McConaughey and Schmidt for 7.
Schmidt into the inside lane, and he's going to give it a roar. You can see McConaughey on the outside lane just get that drive. It's still back to that wheel-to-wheel charge. No one's able to go ahead and yield just yet. Wheel-to-wheel for both those machines. Still 1 up, 1 down, turns to 2, back to 3 coming soon. Vila's in second, he's under fire.
And that battle back there, they've ran down Cadell in the 2, but yes, Vila has Thurston all over him, trying to get that second spot, trying to run down Mavic, the leader.
That 14 wants to find a way through. Caution is out right away. Incident way in the back, and it's a big
Huge one.
Balderas coming in late. And this is going to change things right away.
That's Kevin Champagne involved, just to name the first.
Bomar.
What exactly happened here?
Well,
Cody's involved in the T-Rex car down the pits. And we still got people that are really fast under caution.
Let's go ahead and look back to it. Oh, it was McConaughey going around right away, right in the middle of the field.
You think there might have been contact in that battle back there?
We're going to have to go ahead and watch back again with Schmidt. I don't think... Oh,
yes, there was
We're watching
contact. Oh, that is... Dale Tanhart's involved. There's at least 10, 12 cars already.
Well, some of these guys are assuming going to continue. It's a short shot. You see Schmidt just got right in that left rear of the Budweiser 29. Not McConaughey's fault at all. Both of them fighting for position, but at some point you got to realize it's still early, and we've had that issue before. A lot of machines involved in this one. I'm curious to see who's going to be left running from the tail end of this field.
4 laps in, and you already have some people whose nights are completely junked by this. Guys who are already a lap down. You see them in the pits. This changes the complexion of the race from lap 4.
Well, Mavic got out to an early lead. It works out beautifully for him. Vila back to second, puts Thurston back in third. And this is going to go ahead and damper some plans. Schmidt's still up there in 7th. He's going to be lined in. That's a close one. You can say it's a racing incident. You can say you kind of expected this with Bristol, but Andrew Cootie junked up on the nose. McConaughey junked up on the nose. You got 15 drivers that did not pit from this situation. That's already over half the field.
Yeah, half the field already. You've got guys with damage who were probably going to be able to make their way up through. Already a ton off the lead lap. And what this is going to lead to as well is you're going to see a lot of slow cars out there, or cars that are not running well, that'll be in the way of the leaders. You already got guys here on pit road who are going to be laps down from the get-go, and they're not going to restart up front by any means. They're going to be the first also in the way of Mavic, Vila, Thurston, and everybody else up front.
Yeah, you can see on pit road still a lot of guys lined up. We're not going to go ahead and throw the 1 to go just yet, so we know what the deal is, but we do have some retirees right off the bat. Your night ends early towards the rear end. We're still looking for a word on Justin Champagne. No look for him yet. Still a look for Spencer Burns. No look just yet. until we understand what's going on. Lap 8 out of 300, worst case scenario for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, this is definitely a nightmare start for a lot of people. But still, those up front, those who are going to be running for the win tonight, a lot of them, most of them, were ahead of the wreck or got past it. Newbigging, he was behind that. You saw, Swearigan, he was behind that, got past Brower, still up there, top 10.
Joseph Armstrong may have gotten a piece of... No, he's actually good. He's coming down pit road. He's taking the opportunity to go in and take some tires here. That's a smart game plan as we get the lights off this time by.
Yeah, we get restarted here. I would assume we see Braden Movick get another big lead, but now you got guys mixing and matching from different rows. Now you got our points leader, Daniel Mosteller, in 5th on the bottom lane this time.
Let's get ready to try it again. It already got wild from Thunder Valley. The question is, what's coming next? Movick on the bottom, Vila on the outside, pace car, hard left on a pit road. Let's drop the hammer just one more time. Movick shot out to the lead, wheel to wheel through 1 and 2.
Huge restart he needed. Now the battle is for 4th between Demos and Burrows. Burrows gets it, looking for more with Vila.
You got Vila trying to creep into the 14. You got Movick looking to scoot away. 3 the difference. It's wheel to wheel behind. Wilkerson in the bottom has Brower on the outside. Lane 2 already coming in.
And he's starting to get that run off side by side with the 43. He's pulling ahead into the corner.
Everyone continues to hold that wheel to wheel. Douglas Newbigging slots to the inside lane. Thurston 2-7 back. Thurston looking 2-8 back. He's closed on in, but the question is, Anthony Burrows right on the rear end there of the 1.
And up front, Thurston coming right behind Movick as his battle for 3rd heats up. The Burger King car starting to heat up too.
2-1 the difference. Movick's going to have to defend. Their back nose to tail you right on the rear end. And that 42 machine, what's the difference? Thurston hard into corner entry while Movick's able to lay it back to try to get the runoff corner exit. Nonetheless, still the gap back to a 2-0.
Already an entry versus exit battle. The 14 making up a bit of time, but he slides off, loses time, but fires it back in behind the McDonald's Chevy.
Thurston wants to lead. Mosteller back to 5th, soon to be under fire by the Deuce. That's Cottle. You got Schmidt still in 7th. Wilkerson in the top 10. Look at how much they have to rely on that right rear. You can see the right side of that 42 just edging on. High banks here. You're going to have to worry about tires as this race goes on.
But these two are already in their own zip code, a second ahead of 3rd place Vila. The race for the lead is among them and them alone.
Here you look back to Burrows, you look back to Vila, that's still 1-2. They've gone to the conveyor belt style, back down to the inside. We talked about it. Every form of Bristol is coming in tonight. Right now, it's single file on the bottom, just had a caution early. You do not want another issue. Thurston still there. Thurston looking for the lead through 3 and 4.
Hunting down low. He has less than 2/10 between them, but the runoff is for the 42.
You continue to watch it back to the inside. If you're just joining in, we say welcome. It's rush hour for Thunder Valley. It's the NR Cup Series round 7. It's Chevy on Chevy, top of the board. Vila has not yielded to the Ford, back in the 4th place position. Burrows wants to find a way through. Nonetheless, we watch the battle carry back to the high banks.
And now Movick is starting to slowly pull away from the 14. Better in the corners while that entrance is so aggressive for Thurston. Movick's exit is getting in the lead.
Mosteller has creeped on in. Cottle has creeped on in, but William Schmidt is also there. Right on the back end of the 2. You can see Schmidt's now taking a little bit more easy after that last incident. Still 20 laps in, not a lot of aggression to the middle of the pack.
Schmidt is doing something different than a lot of guys out there. He's entering in high, getting down, diamonding the corner, trying to get that run off, and it's pulling him right to the back of the 2.
Well, he's got an opportunity again. You can see Cottle, one of the more elder spokesmen of the group. You can see he knows how to take it easy early on. A lot of drivers buy into the excitement to start the race. All of a sudden, you get hit with a brick wall and realize, uh-oh, we've got a lot of racing to go. Right now, one machine going down. That's the 8 to the outside. Thurston still 3-1 the difference.
And you're seeing lap cars already playing an influence, holding up the 9, then holding up the 79, and this is going to space people out. Where you catch these lap cars is going to mean the difference between winning and maybe finishing 10.
Already lap 24 out of 300. Cottle has now spaced himself in between the 79 and the 9. He's kind of in his own little zip code as this conveyor belt continues. Vila, on the other hand, has started to catch the two drivers up front. He's down to a 1.28. At one point was a 1.35. Mubik running a different line. He started to experiment with lane 2.
And it's getting him a couple tenths away now. 3 tenths is the lead between them. He has breathing room over Thurston for now.
Thurston looks to capitalize. Vila starting to go ahead and try to pull away. It's Burrows back and forth. That's a 1.74. Here's one thing we're starting to see a big change on. Early on, you saw the battles 2x2. All of a sudden, they're back down that inside. But you know Burrows has got long run speed. You know Vila's got long run speed. Does Thurston have long run speed? That's the big question as he closes back to the 42.
He might, but someone I'm noticing battling for 8. Douglas Newbigging and Brower going back and forth, making their way up towards the front. It's a bit of a clash of lines as the 12 gets the run up top.
It's going to be Ford versus Chevrolet. Matthew Brower to the outside. Doug cannot get the drive off. So far, both those machines sitting well inside the top 10. Nonetheless, it's going to be Brower taking that spot away through. Newbigging yields back to 9th. He's going to worry because Jacob Wilkerson is back on the rear end.
And he is trying to dig for more right to the back. Car length between the two, and now he pulls in even closer.
Everyone continues to hold on to their own, kind of minding their own business. Nonetheless, Mubik may have caught lap traffic, never mind. Thurston's just able to get the run back off. The highest he has been to catching that 42 is about a 2.1. He's back within a 20 now and looking at 19. Back off corner exit, the momentum carries back to the Burger King Chevrolet.
And a lot of clean racetrack out in front of him, so it is a 1v1 up front. The 14 now falling a little further back, but that aggression into the corner is going to keep him close.
He's looking to go ahead and find a way through. Still laps to burn off here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Burrows back there in 4th. That's still Mosteller in the 5th place position. Matthew Brower has not left that 7 machine just yet. That's Douglas Newbigging back to the inside. That wheel will carry back to the high banks of 3 and 4.
You're starting to see guys migrate now towards the middle, up top. They're changing lines, but Brower has to go low so he can keep the 7 behind him, and that keeps Wilkerson with him.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-car battle for now. What looks to be that 8th place position. You continue to monitor what goes on up front. Thurston really has not had a big change. Walker under fire. He has the 23 right behind him. That's Steinmeier, Baker, Joseph Armstrong joining the ranks as well, trying to get things back rolling. But you watch on right. Oh, Jacob Wilkerson may have just had a massive blink out. He may be out of the race due to an internet issue. We'll keep an eye on him.
Another player taken out early in this race, but we have to go on as the 12 and the 7 still battling for that 8th spot.
Yeah, he blinked out. I don't think he's coming back whatsoever. Jacob Wilkerson, packet loss. He can rejoin and get his lap back due to an internet issue. It's almost like a mechanical issue. How in NASCAR there's no DVP for it. In this case, if it is anything electrical, you should be good to go to come on back and still contend. But he's going to need a caution because he's going to be multiple laps down.
But while that went on, Newbigging now is up to the 8th spot, past Brower, and now has about a 1.5 seconds, almost going to 2 seconds to make up to get the Schmidt.
Down to 14 drivers left on the lead lap. Spencer Burns elects to join in. He's down on the inside of the Roasted Gems 06. He's looking back to the inside, wheel to wheel of Max Steinmeier. He's able to cross his way through, still multiple laps down.
Now Cadell up in 6th. He's about right in the middle of Demos and Schmidt. Those all are 5th through 7th on the racetrack as we run.
Well, you're starting to see a difference on the strategy here. Mosteller sitting 5th. He ends here. This is a great day, even if Mubik wins. You know, it really starts coming into the fact that, hey, time's running out for the 42 to win some more races. But at the same time, Connell's there for one thing. He started as a full-time driver, didn't get this shot to go for a championship due to the races ran previous. He's looking for one thing, and that's the win. Right here, right now, he's going to apply the pressure to the 9.
And he is. He's right to the back of him. That Miller Lite Blue Deuce, only a car length between him, but look behind him. Schmidt up high, even closer.
He's up to 7th. He may be looking for 6. You got the drivers in front of them even looking for a wheel-to-wheel. Thurston is in trouble right here. He's stopped.
Contact. Who's around? There's a crash up in front of him. The 11. Schmidt spins, cautions out.
Braden Mubik on pit road. Or parked on pit road, should we say.
Did he get involved? It looks like he has damage on the rear end.
We were worried about lap machines coming on in. He gets it refired. I have no idea what just happened, but he's coming on pit road. That was a smart play right there. I think he had to wait for the pace car to go back around. to go ahead and have pit road open. That's a big move right there. He waited for the pace car after getting hit to go around so pit road can open. This may save him big time. We're going to see what happened.
Coming down through the corner. Oh, the 11 just stopped in the middle of the track.
That's Colby. Gets into it there at the 07. Parks it on the outside.
And we talked about it in the pre-race show. People that have maybe no business around those in the front who are laps down can take you out of the race lead. There's still plenty of time left for the 42, though. He could even fall a lap down. He has a fast enough car, though. He'd be able to get that lap back. Pit
road's open. It's not over just yet. We're going to have a lot of issues tonight, and we're going to continue to see it. James Thurston, Abraham Vila, Burrows, Mosteller, now your new fast four. We're already 44 laps into this race. This race is going by at a pretty quick pace. You got to start worrying now what works out, what doesn't. Mubik is still on pit road back in 17. He should be good to go depending on when the pace car comes on out. Nonetheless, that right side is all KO'd.
Yeah, he may be a lap down here, and you see the one overshoots his pit a little bit, but I would assume coming out of the pits, it's probably going to be Thurston leading him off unless somebody wants to do a strategy call.
Left side's going on up. James Thurston winning the race off pit road. What a call here by Wilkerson. Coming out P2.
Now, if Mubik can bring it back out, still only a lap down, hopefully, he would be only one of two a lap down at this point from the looks of it. So he would be able to make this up over time. Even if he's a couple laps down, there is the ability to make up laps through the race.
Right, and there's a lot going on right now. You got some drivers that started their race with electrical issues. They're able to get their laps back right off the gun. That's where you see Wilkerson going back around. Here's the thing now. Your race leader just got taken a big hit. He's back on pit road trying to get it fixed. But if you're starting to see the best of the best have troubles, what makes you think the 9's not going to have troubles? The 2's not going to have troubles? Maybe even the 14, and Burrows is going to be right up there with them. This race could be a race of who can make the least amount of mistakes or get caught up in the least amount of issues.
Well, and speaking of those two, I think are making up laps. I believe Armstrong in the 20 had issues getting in because he's making up laps. So he'll be back on the lead lap, and he is going to be a threat for the win in this thing.
It's been a wild night. All right, we've already started. We're 46 laps in. It's almost reminding me of Atlanta in a way, except the fact that all the problems that happen on track, they happen right in front of leaders. They happen kind of out of nowhere. And right off the gun, we're going to go ahead and get ready to try it again. The one to go is going to come on out. It's going to be Thurston. Burrows lined up row number 1. Vila lined up with Mosteller back to row number 2.
And Mubik still on the pit lane at the moment. So tough night already for him. Still plenty of time. We're probably going to have plenty of cautions in this. So he does have time to make those up.
Yeah, he's sitting 4 laps down right now. It's not worst case scenario.
There he is. He's back out on track.
There's still a lot of racing left to go. Not out of it just yet. The question now is, what else is bound to happen tonight? Chevy, Ford, Chevy, grab it here. It's Thunder Valley. It's the what will happen type of race. We're back underway. Thurston to drive into 1 and 2 on smooth. Burrows on the outside. Wheel to wheel of Vila. Burrows gets the try. Holds the wheel to wheel. And they're back at it through 3 and 4.
Battle for the lead. Burrows getting the run up top over Thurston. Thurston maybe let that lap, but Burrows looking for it now.
And it's that dogfight that you want to see. It's for the lead. The 62 with the drive off corner exit. Vila back there in 3rd. He's under fire. Mosteller, Baker all in the mix. Thurston with the drive down off. Looks for the way through. Daylight downstairs, jumps back to the outside.
Flying up on the top side, loses ground into the corner, and now about a car length between them, but he's going to try and sail it down to the bottom after Burrows.
And it's going to be deep sea diving for now the top 3, top 4. Thurston tried every single lane. He's going to go back to the middle, all the way back to that middle groove to try to get the run off. Burrows continues to sail on through to find the difference.
And this time with the dominant car taken out, nobody really is running away with it. They're pretty evenly spaced. Right now the 62, only 2/10 over the 14.
Matthew Brower back there trying to make up time. He's nose to tail with Schmidt. Schmidt looking to the inside. Cottle back the 7th. Thurston under fire. Should we say giving the fire to the 62? Back to a 19 the difference.
They're both keeping it on the bottom, but this time Thurston runs about a lane up 3/10 between them. Vila running him down in third.
He's all the way back down that inside. Vila 6.5 back. Walker 107 back. This is his first NR night, or should we say NR Cup race of the season. He found his way around Mosteller, but that 9 has not left the top 5.
No, he is not. He's doing everything he needs to do right now. No matter how they're running top 5 is going to help him out. They pass over the 11 for the lead at the moment between the two of them. Lap traffic, again, making a difference.
Thurston around the outside, now back to a 2-2. He's half a click higher than Burrows, but Burrows does have right side damage. Keep an eye on that. I think every driver is going to have damage tonight before we get Gleaven. How about Baker, a short track lover up into the top 6?
Finally having the good run we knew he could have, and he's trying to run down that 9 car just ahead of the 2 and getting a good run off.
Yeah, he's looking for, you saw that big leave of that right rear. Thurston still now 2-1 the difference. 2-0 the difference. Closing back on in. 57 out of 300. They've all got it parked on the inside. Ford Chevy still not yielding.
Thurston seems to have the better car as the run goes on. He's run down the 62, loses time there, but is generally gaining each lap.
Yeah, you're going to continue to see him make up time as this race goes on, but still Blue Oval leading. How about Mosteller? Closes right to the rear end there of Walker. He's going to look for a way through. Baker, Cottle, Brower all lined in on the bottom. Still 19 the difference.
And I just want to say this. How about Dale Tanhart in the top 12 of this race, holding his own? All season he's sort of been in the back of the top 20, around 20th somewhere. Running really well tonight, avoiding the wrecks. Good job on him, but up front, Burrows about 2, going almost on 3/10 between he and Thurston.
Yeah, Thurston's trying to go ahead and make up, but right now he's having the issue that he had with Mubik. Both those drivers are struggling on making up time when the long green flag run kind of starts coming through. He's in that bubble of you can be faster, you may need Burrows to make a mistake, but you're still about even the driver in front. I would say he's going to stay in that area until tire wear really does become a big factor. Lap machines to the outside, Vila up to third, Mosteller looking for a way through. It's still Walker in the fast 4. The 5 looks fast down the inside.
And it's starting to space the field out a little bit. The top 3 are all in the same zip code. The 5 trying to find a way past the 82. Had a scary moment there. And now Baker gets held up by him.
Hey, see him back down that bottom. Mosteller now back to the middle, trying to get the drive off. Walker lined up in. Thurston still hasn't left the 2-2 range. But the only thing is, if you're Baker, you got the 2 breathing right down your neck.
Yeah, and he's looking low now, nothing to give. They both dive down to the bottom. You're starting to see guys look for the top side. That's Steinmeier in 11th.
Battle for the lead. Thurston on the outside there of Burrows, trying to find a way through. You got 3 lap machines right in front. It's going to be a minefield as they try to navigate their way through.
And don't look now, but Vila's joined them in third. He's within striking distance. Up high goes Thurston, looking to get the run, can't get it off.
He's going to might get it right here. It's down to a 19, down to an 18, but Burrows was so strong to the center, it just did not matter. He's going to play every single game to try to find a way through. It's a chess match between the top 2. But with Vila coming in, you're the 14. You have to worry about what's behind you and what's in front of you.
No matter what happens with these top 2, Vila has stayed 5 contact, 88 around at the inside wall, and Burns in it too.
Caution's gonna wave.
Oh, he goes up the track. I hope nobody gets into that. Looks good. And another yellow early on in this race. Good for, I believe, Armstrong, so he can get those laps back.
Yeah, he's going to get 1 back here most likely. The question now is, though, with it being Burns and it being Dominguez, both lap machines involved. You start to see lap machines right now, I wouldn't say plague this race, but it's making a difference. Mubik may get one of the laps back depending on if these guys come to pit road.
We're going to see, but the 06 is flying up there.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and roll his way through. Let's go ahead and watch back. No, it wasn't his fault at all. So, remember, he had an internet issue, so he's still able to get one of his laps back.
He just kind of got collected in that. Comes up the track. Luckily, nobody gets into him.
I know we're used to seeing Spencer Burns involved in incidents this season. So right at the gun, you want to give him the blame, but this may come down to the 24.
I think it's the 88 and 24 come together a little bit here. Kind of fighting for the same real estate. 24 comes down, 88 washed up a little bit. But no, that's not on Burns.
No tap at all. Well, the caution is going to wave again. And we get to stack them back up. We almost had a great battle between the top 3. If you're Burrows, you're Thurston, you're Vila, you're your top 3 now. Coming out of pit road's going to be a big opportunity for some of these guys. You need the wave around. Mubik now 3 laps down.
And slowly but surely through the night, getting those wave arounds, getting possibly a lucky dog. He can be back into this. He has a strong enough car. There's enough cars that are behind him that he won't have too far to go up front. But with these pit stops now, this is going to decide the next run up.
Here's the big thing, too. If you're going to make a mistake or have something go wrong, you want it to go early. They said that in 2011 for the Ford 400. You saw what happened with Tony Stewart. They even said it back in the 1992 Hooters 500. Here at Bristol, almost the same deal. I remember one year, Dale Jr., I think it was 2009, had to go a couple laps down to an incident. He was back on the lead lap in no time. Keep an eye on this. The drivers that are 2 laps down are not done because it is just so unpredictable around this racetrack.
Yes, it is, and we're looking at how everyone's pitting, getting out, and it looks like Burrows for now. Did McConaughey stay out, or did he get the lead? I think he stayed out for a lap.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and see. He's going to come back down in. Pit road wanted to go ahead and lead a lap. Braden Mubik. We'll go ahead and bring it back around. Let's go ahead and see how this all goes down. Let's get ready to go green. As we get ready to go ahead and try it again, Lot Machines working it on pit road, lap 72 out of 300.
And really no change out of the pits among the top 5, 6, 7, generally staying around the same area they've been all night. And as we're running, I believe 16 drivers on the lead lap. Armstrong and Balderas, the 2 a lap down, and then Mubik and Joyner 2 laps down as we run.
Getting ready to try it again. Lap 73 out of 300. The driver that has been involved in no incidents all year. Still up there, he's up to 6. A lot of these guys lined up back nose to tail, and we get ready to try it again. Burrows on the bottom. Thurston on the outside, lined up, wheel to wheel. As we work our way back to the restart zone just one more time. Green from Thunder Valley. Thurston on the outside lane, looking for the drive on back, wheel to wheel there with Vila. Baker looking for a way through. They're ice skating their way through 3 and 4. Burrows will lead this lap.
And now the battle's for second. Vila loose off the corner. Thurston pulls ahead.
He's going to look top, maybe bottom, but the 14 is back in the area where he wants to go ahead and duel it out with the 62. Walker has not given in whatsoever. He's back down that bottom lane. How about New Bigging with the drive down off? The deuce loose down off corner exit.
And that's New Bigging getting to the top 5 for the first time tonight, past the 9. Schmidt up top with a huge run as well. He's going to try and pull the hat trick with him.
It's getting tight back there. If you're William Schmidt, you've been involved in one issue tonight. He just clobbered the outside wall. He's still wheel to wheel there with what looks to be the TCB machine downstairs. That's not going anywhere. How about the battle for the lead down within a 14?
Again, really close together. Thurston runs down the 62, looking up high, trying to get the run off.
He's going to try to get something big right here. Burrows able to hold on down to a 12, down to a 9, looking all the way back to the outside. Top 2 still going as they work their way off corner exit.
Now where does the lap traffic ahead of him go? Thurston looks low. Burrows has to give him the lane, but they get the run off. Caution's out.
Caution out once again from Bristol Motor Speedway. Spencer Burns around.
We've said that this year a lot.
We've seen that 06 around a ton of times. Now the question is, who's going to get what back? Let's look back to it. Remember what happened with Dominguez earlier? They're wheel to wheel. I would not be surprised if this is a possible payback moment. No, he went below.
That was odd, to say the least.
Yeah, he went below. I don't know why he went below the apron.
There was really no reason to at that point, unless he was trying to Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano him, but the 82 was there. It's just either a lapse of judgment or a really poor call. Dale Tanhart, Jacob Wilkerson involved in this too. innocent bystanders nowhere to go with their cars in this point.
Yeah, these guys are getting ready to battle it out. They are going to call it no laps back for Spencer Burns if he does have laps to get back. I don't know if that got to him just yet, but they're going to go ahead and give it to him because that was definitely his fault. No need for that to happen.
Yeah, and he's running past the leaders. So we might have a bit of a rogue Spencer Burns out there. But Armstrong pitting, I would think he would be, at least how they were running, he would be the lucky dog, which means the first car off the lead lap will be Braden Muffick. And John, we've seen Braden Muffick make some pretty incredible comebacks before, including this year at Darlington. So, not over. There goes the 06 again.
Yeah, they're going to have to go ahead and he caused those incidents, so he's not getting those laps back. We're going to go ahead and get ready to try it again.
But every time, though, you're seeing Thurston and Burrows, they're getting closer. They're battling closer together. I think that sooner or later, that 14 is going to get past that 62.
Let's get ready to try it again. Working lap 82 out of 300 as we get ready to go green. Yeah, there's a lap machine on the bottom. Went all the way back down into him. Burns has caused a lot of incidents tonight. It's really gotten a lot of people questioning what all that was, but we're going to go ahead and get ready to try it again.
You're seeing the 81 and Tanhart on pit road. May have gone a lap down. We're not sure as we run, but he was involved in that incident. But I want to say that restart had a huge positive effect on Douglas Newbigging.
And Muffick.
Yeah, well, Newbigging, though, jumped up, I want to say, 3-4 spots? So I like it. I like that aggression.
Yeah, he's back up to 5th, puts Demos back to 6th, and that 9 machine is just focused on being very passive as we get ready to try it again. Lap 84 out of 300, the one to go, back out on the top of the pace car. It's going to be interesting to see how this race goes on through. A couple cautions, definitely avoidable. Working lap 84, almost on lap 100. We've been streaming for an hour now, and we're already really getting up there, so I'm really curious to see how this goes on. If we get to a pace where drivers have to maintain speed, maintain agility, it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes down.
Yep, but lining up 2x2, ready to go green.
Burrows on the bottom, Thurston on the outside, Walker, Vila, wheel to wheel, that's back in row number 2. Newbigging, Mostella, row number 3. Let's try it again. Back underway from Thunder Valley. Burrows tucking in on the outside. Thurston wanting a drive off. It's still Vila downstairs trying to get it to roll. Walker on the outside, wheel to wheel.
Not this time, but side by side. Walker looking up the top side of Newbigging, battling for 4th, and he wants more.
Thurston is still locked in the bottom. Vila locked in the bottom. Walker's trying to get the drive down off. You see Newbigging looking to that inside. Walker is that daylight downstairs, but can't get it now. Newbigging with the drive off.
Battle now behind Mosteller for 7th. That's going to be between Cadell and Schmidt. Schmidt getting the run up high, but not being able to finish the pass.
Yeah, he's wanting to find his way through. Thurston again is stalking his prey in front. Now the gap, a 16, a 15, was looking 14, but Anthony Burrows has got it made. These cautions are coming out the right moment for the 62.
It is, and you're seeing the difference again between aggressive in, aggressive out. The difference that makes of how you get ahead, how close you get.
Vila up there in 3rd. It's still Walker back to 4th, nose to tail. Back down the back as they work their way through 3 and 4. You see Walker kind of just hugging it down to that inside lane. You see Thurston still trying to close on in. 19, 16 the difference. Who's going to find a way through? That's the real question.
Walker got a little, or Vila I should say, got a little bit loose off, and that gets Walker right to him. But up front, going for the lead, Burrows and Thurston closer than they've been pretty much all night.
12 the difference, 18 the difference, was down to a 10 at one point. And as this top 2 gets ready to go ahead and start the chess match, Vila's going to put his hat in the ring. He's only 5'8" back as he starts rolling his way forward.
And still a blanket right over the top 2, a couple car lengths back. you really have, I would say, the top 5 in this battle if one of them makes a mistake.
Well, 19 back to the difference. You watch Anthony Burrows just hugging back down that inside lane. Thurston had to catch that right rear before it nearly slams, should we say, that outside wall. It still nose to tail, but if you're the 14, you got to size him up before you go ahead and find a way through.
And he's staying right on him, hounding him. Not even a car length between the two of them. Right up to the back of him now. Entering through the corner, he's maybe half a car length.
Burrows, the drive off, it is okay, should we say, but you can see Thurston a little more aggressive on entry, a little bit more aggressive on exit. It's back down to an 11 the difference. Battle for the lead as they work their way through 1 and 2.
Looking up high, trying to get the run off. Not this time. He stays right there, though, trying again even higher.
He's up near that outside safer barrier. Now here's the roller coaster run down off corner exit. He just made it all up down off corner exit back to 1 now. You can see the 14 just diamond in the corner, trying to find daylight downstairs to make his match.
And they're both pulling away from the 1. Thurston and Burrows going at it again. Another lap by. 14 now tries low.
Lap 97 of 300. Anthony Burrows has it tucked right back down to that inside lane. Thurston has it tucked downstairs as well. While this has happened, Vila's lost ground. Walker has lost ground as well. So the top 2 are really in a class of their own, working nearly lap 100.
Walker's starting to fall back, but Vila is actually making up a little bit of ground on these two, staying within the distance to strike, but Thurston now starting to fall back from the 62.
Everyone continues to file it on the inside lane. James Thurston has just been an absolute driving man of the night. What I mean by that is that he's just been on it. Nonetheless, on these short tracks, he just hasn't made from entry to exit. You go from Nashville to Bristol, he's always up front. The thing is, Burrows is going to make it difficult to find a way around. His defense is unmatched. Up there in lane 2, this time Thurston forced wide. Colby jumps it down to the inside lane.
Now back into the lap traffic. The 82 right ahead of them as well, and they're going to have to negotiate all of this. You're seeing the battling behind them now from about 4th to 8th.
That's Douglas Newbigging closing on into the rear end of Walker. He's got daylight to the outside. The 5 just shuts it. Matt to the inside, goes to 7. That's wheel to wheel.
But the 5's going to get the run off right behind a lapper. That 82 still in the way, down underneath them. They continue to battle.
Valderas making it difficult for some, nonetheless predictable. Jumps to the outside lane. Lets these drivers find a way through. It's right now a traffic jam. Who's on the move? Braden Mubbick, an idea. Let's get 1 lap back now. 1 caution, he's back on the lead lap.
Well, and he has to worry that if the back of the pack, guys like McConaughey and Jeffries, if they get lapped, they're ahead of him for the Lucky Dog Award. So if he can make this lap back, even if he doesn't get that award, he still can pass them and strike again.
Now here's the thing, everyone said, hey, why did he get 2 laps back? We're getting a word. It was where the pace car picked up the leader. Mubbick was told to pass. So he already got 1 laps back. Waiver out comes in, you get another lap back. It was the luck of the draw for the 42 machine. Nonetheless, he needs to get them back right now. How about this battle behind?
But look how close they all are now. The 9 of Mosteller getting the run up top. His car is coming in. In front of them, Mubbick is running down the top 3.
Douglas Newbigging on the inside lane, has it hovered, has it connected. He's 2-3 from your race leader, but nonetheless, Mosteller, Schmidt, Cottle, Walker, the deuce with the drive off corner exit. He's able to go ahead and hold on. Walker starting to drop back to 8th.
Fading bad. He was up in the 4th spot or so, now back to 8th. May lose 9th behind him, the battle with Baker in 10th. And Armstrong coming up through the pack in 12th.
This is going to be interesting to see. Nonetheless, we know the 42's on fresh tires, but Thurston is struggling to hold on to Anthony Burrows. You're able to see Vila's now closed on in, so it's 3 drivers under a blanket. Burrows, 4-9 on the lead there, and Thurston's got to watch out. Vila's not going to be knocking on the door.
Vila has a good long run car. Thurston maybe about a short or medium run car, and they're starting to come back together. The rubber band coming back together, and second and third getting closer.
How about Mosteller on the inside lane, lined up with Schmidt. He continues to work that nose to tail back to the high banks. You still got New Bigging in the fast four. We talked about him being quick, nonetheless, not surprised here. Oh man, we have a wheel-to-wheel of the lap machines. That's Mubik on the bottom, Cootie on the outside. Best of friends. You can hear the sarcasm, but they seem to go ahead and find a way through easily.
Yeah, Mubik gonna make his way through Cootie, taking the high lane, the high side. But up here, we're looking at Thurston trying the high line, trying to diamond it down, making up a bit more of a run on Burrows, with Vila making up room on him.
Now look at the start of the race. Remember when this track was ice bright? All that rubber has now come on in, and it has found the outside groove. That 14 made up 2/10 in one corner by doing that. So now yacht it back, because yes, you'll make up time out there, but you're going to kill those tires. Nonetheless, Vila's not closed on in. Hey, top three starting to go ahead and shrink back together.
They are, and I want to update you on a guy who was just running 4th. Walker back to 12th. Armstrong in the top 10. You're seeing who's good for the long run. Vila trying to make up ground, looks low. It's not going to happen this time. Wait, yes it is.
Yeah, he found his way through. Let's go ahead and look back at what's going on with Walker, because he's got trouble soon. That's Max Steinmeier up to 13th. Abraham Vila has just put a pounding. He's one of the best drivers to get it done in Tennessee. First race in our night in America, Nashville Super Speedway, walked it off easily with a bump and run. And just like that, here on the East Coast, or the East Side, should we say, of Tennessee, not the East Coast. He's up there in second, and Burrows right now may have a new contender involved. 5'9" the difference. He's starting to go in and close in.
He is, little by little, and look behind him too, the 42 picking up ground. He's in the camera shot now.
Don't leave out that 42 machine. I think Mosteller may be looking for aggressiveness coming abroad. You can see New Bigging's getting that inside lane. He actually slams the outside wall. Nonetheless, he's got to watch out. Cottle's right behind him.
And these are your top two in points between the 7 and the 9. Cottle, really fast, stayed right with the 9 car as well, so his car coming on strong.
Colby on pit road. A championship fight. If New Biggin can stay in front of the 9, it's best case scenario. Really best case scenario is win the race. Now the 9 finish in the garage. But right now, that doesn't look like the opportunity is coming anytime soon. Here's what you got to look at. We talked about this race going by quick. It's already lap 120 out of 300. How about Mosteller on jaunt back to the outside lane? It's going to be wheel to wheel.
He's got the spot, it looks like. The 2 following behind him. New Bigging's car falling away.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Those tires just have finally given up on the 7 machine. They're still wheel to wheel. New Bigging way up the track. They'll have a hold-on moment there for the 2 machine. Vila fading to Burrows. Thurston fading to Mosteller. Braden Mubik. An idea. Let's get that lap back. Has to find his way around Thurston.
He's still about 2 seconds away from Burrows, who's running down the back of the pack quick. Almost a full lap put on the 29 and 16th. That's going to be huge. And I want to say behind them, Baker's starting to make his way up in 8th.
Yeah, he knows how to get it done these short tracks. But here's the thing about Bristol. It's all fast paced. You have to have those quick reactions. Wilkerson's actually working around that 25 machine, or at least looking for a way through. They have jumped to that outside lane. New Bigging, hold on, he did. It's Schmidt lined up with Baker. It's Wilkerson lined up with him. The battles continue to go ahead and get ready to form up from about 6 on back.
And they're looking at different lines now. New Bigging, a bottom feeder. Schmidt up towards the wall. Gonna pull side by side with him and probably pull off the pass.
You see William Schmidt about around that outside lane, trying to find his way through. Very easily will. New Bigging's gonna lose 2 here as Baker jumps to the outside lane. Could be a 2 for 1, not in the way of the 7. He does. How about Wilkerson looking for a way through as well?
Wilkerson up top in that 43. He's gonna easily make up that ground. Behind the 7 now, who's gonna settle in 9th, is Armstrong and Brower, 10th and 11th.
Yeah, he's going to look for a way through, and just like that, Douglas New Bigging, we talked about him, needed a finish in front of Mosteller. Now he just wants to hold on to the top 10. What a stride for Joseph Armstrong into the top 10. Thurston Lost that one to Mavic, but nonetheless, just a lap machine for now. Abraham Vila sitting there in P2, 7 the difference. You're Braden Mavic right now. You got to find your way also around McConaughey because right now he's the lucky dog.
Well, yeah, he's the lucky dog, but you got to get that lap back because even if McConaughey is the lucky dog, if you're a lap down, you can be the next one up. And the way he's running through the field, you can pass the guys they're lapping.
Burrows on the inside, 7-8 back. Thurston, 3 seconds back. Mosteller has started to close in on him. We know Thurston has a long run. No, let me phrase that. You know, Thurston has a short run car, doesn't have the long run car. Let's say we get a caution late. Do you put the 14 as a possibility to win this race?
If it's a short run, yes. If it's probably 20 laps or fewer, yes. If not, if it's like a 50-lap run, no.
Yeah, that's a big thing you got to continue to keep an eye out for. I think Vila also has an opportunity to find Burrows if we get a restart. Here's one thing we have to look at. Long green flag run. We've been going for quite a while. Do we see green flag pit stops?
I mean, we still would have to go 150 laps from what was the last caution, and what was that, about lap 60, give or take? So we would have to make it to lap 210 without a yellow. As much as I would want that to happen, to see pure chaos, I don't see that happening.
It doesn't look likely, but you see Mosteller's now lined up and loaded. You still got Cottle trying to close on in. He's back down that inside lane. James Thurston back there in third. He's lost a lot of time. Mosteller back there in fourth. Kind of just riding in his own tracks. Best case scenario, I've never seen a driver just find his way through 7 races, at least up to this point, without any issues.
I mean, a big part of, the most important part, I should say, of winning a championship is running well, but luck always has to be factored in. There is no champion that has not had some good luck come his way. Mosteller has made his good luck come his way. We're looking at Vila now, who's fallen a second behind Burrows, the leader, and now some lap traffic for the 14.
I like the idea. Burns into the outside wall right in front of Thurston. Thurston finding his way through. I like the idea of saying that there's luck involved, but I've seen something of that 9 machine. Look back to Daytona. Things got dicey, he bailed out. Look back to Talladega. Things got dicey, bailed out. Every single race where he didn't feel comfortable in a situation, he bailed out, and when things went wrong, he was not involved versus other guys that just stuck in the moment. Nonetheless, there's obviously been lucky moments. You look at Daytona and Talladega.
That's why I say he's made his own luck. He's put himself in the position that good things can happen to him. And now we're watching on the screen Mavic being run down by the 14. I think he might have burned his tires off, charging up towards the front.
Yeah, you can see Thurston's going to find his way through soon, unless the 42 is able to hold on to something. Here's another thing you got to look at. Cycles. If you're a couple laps down, you do not pit until that driver, that's the race leader, comes down in and they all cycle on through. Why? You got to yell. They're all going to come back down pit road again anyways because tires mean that much. Vila's 1 second back to Burrows. He's trying to go ahead and creep back on in. Thurston's kind of in that same area. Mosteller starting to creep back in there on James Thurston.
And then you got Cadell back in 5th. And I want to point out, Baker in the 7th spot. Haven't talked about him much this year, making his way up towards the front, hounding the back of that 79 car.
It's going to be interesting to see what DCB is able to do in that 7th position. He's kind of lined on in. William Schmidt has got it locked down to that inside lane. Baker with a drive back down off quarter exit. Continues to try to sneak his way on through, but on that outside lane, he continues to make up time to Schmidt. Wilkerson and I think New Bigging have kind of stopped the bleeding on the tire situation. Abraham Vila under a second. He's closing on in.
Maybe making it through that lap traffic a little bit better than Burrows. You're going to have guys fighting the leader harder than the second place driver. He's got to take advantage of that.
TCB rolling through. Douglas New Bigging rolling through. Joseph Armstrong. Oh, wouldn't he love to go ahead and see a caution right now, because guess who's coming forward? Anthony Burrows. And we know Joe knows how to win here. Caution is out.
There we go. It's like prophecy, man. Who was involved in this one?
Chad Jeffries. Wave around, wave around. Oh, Mavic still 2 laps down.
Yep.
He may get the wave around still, that's the only thing.
Now this will probably be another spot for him. The 19, I think, went 2 down. Well, now he's a lap down. But
gonna go ahead and bring it down to pit road. Let's go ahead and watch TCB involved. Oh, good call.
Oh, New Bigging in it.
Great call there by Drew Jua up in the tower for us. Keep an eye so we can go to broadcast. Douglas New Bigging, championship contender.
And you were saying there's no such thing as luck for the 9.
No, I wouldn't say that. There's definitely luck, but
There's some luck there, man.
I'm telling you, Coca-Cola's gotten their sponsorship really worked out here in the Cup Series. I mean, that 9 has been in everyone's vision, everyone's view, and for the right reasons.
Yeah. Well, now they're on pit road. All the lead lap cars taking them down here. And who gets that wave around? Who's going to elect to take it after a long run? Your tires are going to be off center or off cycle. That 42 might get another lap back, but he's going to want a quick caution, I think.
Nonetheless, definitely a quick yellow would be big, but here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, by the time we get going, we're going to be halfway through the race. Look at it right now. He does get the wave around here. It's still going to go ahead and be lined up with Dominguez. Dominguez has the right to go ahead and go right now. He will get the wave around. Your Max Swearigan coming into pit road this time by. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see how this all goes down.
It is, but I'm looking at these guys racing off. You got the 62, 1, 14. Everyone about getting off the same way they came in. Who gets the better restart now? Because for the first time all night, it's Vila versus Burrows up front.
Doug has 1 minute to repair that car. That's what we heard. They said it shouldn't take long, but still got to keep an eye out for things. Braden Mummick, the wave around. Do we see a comeback? Go look at Darlington. Darlington, I wouldn't say it was a tame race. In certain points it was, but Mummick got caught speeding on pit road, went back to the rear. We go green all the way through, and he comes up and wins the race. He was, what, 4 laps down? I'm going to make up time?
Something like that. He was way in the back. But coming from 4 laps down tonight, even if he has to give that lap back here to pit or just giving it back, this would be the biggest comeback we would ever see in this league.
Yeah, 1 lap down is going to go ahead and drop it to the rear. Burrows, Vila, New Bigging, and Thurston. That's your fast 4. We get ready to try it again. I'm telling you, don't look away from that 1. And if that 42 is back on the lead lap, Anthony Burrows is going to have a lot to work with as we get ready to try it again. 62 downstairs, 1 on the outside. Ford, Chevrolet lined up back in row number 2. Lights off this time by. This is Bristol. This is now. This is race 7. Vila's got to get shot out of a cannon. Pace car gets ready to pull down on the pit road just one more time. Ford, Chevrolet lined up. One more time, working lap 1. Oh, Vila's in the wall.
Oh, no.
In front of Schmidt.
And there goes Baker around.
Caution's gonna wave.
Lucky dog, Braden Mummick.
Unbelievable.
You can't script this. Wow. I mean, what else do you say? I'm stunned.
I saw you looking there at the live chat, and when I said, oh, I saw you look back right away, and when that caution came out, it changes everything.
Now, I don't think anyone got too bad of damage not to continue competitively. That is at least a positive here. But we've also reached the halfway point. We are in the second half of this race now.
Brower, maybe a kiss on the cheek. He's fine. At least from what it looks, I don't know. That looks a little bit more than a kiss on the cheek. That absolutely destroyed the nose.
I might have spoke too soon there.
Abraham Vila is I want to keep an eye on that one machine. Look at the back end. He got ran into, I think, by the 9. No. Tebow's found a way through. It's Schmidt.
Oh, my goodness.
And there's your 42. This is getting good. I'm telling you, it is not over.
Not at all over. And we still got 15 on the lead lap, 148 to go, probably about 145 when we go back green. I still think there's plenty of guys who can win this race.
Pit road's open. Machines coming down in just one more time before we go ahead and get ready to try it again. Nonetheless, we're working lap 153 of 300. David Joyner, Chad Jeffries, Dominguez, all getting their opportunity to go ahead and try it again.
And it looks like, the top 6 or so electing to stay out.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So with Burrows up front, Thurston back there in second. And Mavic will come up to 9th, but still bring it down on pit road.
Yeah, probably the smart call there. You're back on the lead lap. Might as well get a little bit fresher tires and try and run up and make that crazy comeback.
Let's get ready to try it again. 12th, 13th, 14th on back. Have now worked their way off pit road or getting ready to, so we can go ahead and get the one to go. Burns on pit road. Abraham Vila, race-winning contender, no rear end, kind of reminding us of Kyle Busch in 2018.
And he's another one who could very well run up through the pack and get that win. Track position's important, but it's not all important the way it is at other tracks.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some things. This is giving me 2018 Bristol vibes for a reason. The start of the race, what happened? Big wreck, right?
Yep.
Kyle Busch loses that rear end, or was it 2018 or 2019? Maybe both.
2018, because 19 I was there.
That's right. 2018, wreck happens, takes out a huge chunk of machines. Everyone thinks Kyle Busch is done. Pairs the rear end, gets back going. Vila's still not out of it as well. He's up to 12th. We get lights off right here, and we're just at halfway. Listen, if you haven't had a problem, I think some of these guys are due to get hit, because there's no way you leave tonight without a scratch on your car.
No way at all. But now lining up, we got Burrows, Thurston, Mosteller, Cadell, and that is Wilkerson back up into the top 5. Steinmeier 6th, and Walker, that short run car, up in 7th.
Anthony Burrows, James Thurston, row number 1. What happens next? Here from Bristol, Ford Chevrolet dropping the hammer. We're green once more. Thurston to the inside. Mosteller looking for a way through. Caudill on the outside lane, still wheel to wheel.
Solid restart for the top 2. Caudill now taking the 3rd spot away from the 9. Steinmeier right on his back bumper.
You can see Thurston way up the track trying to get that drive back down off corner exit, but the deuce is still there. 2 drivers under a blanket for that 2nd position. Mosteller looking for a way through, working lap 158.
Now Thurston again trying to run down Burrows, puts gap between the 2 and the 14, and now the 9 hounding him.
Max Steinmeier on the inside lane looking to make up time. James Thurston looking to make up time now. We know he's better on the short run than the long. Closes within a 2-2. If you're the 14, you got to find a way around this 62, because when track position means something, you can hold on, and that's what happened there at the fairgrounds.
But don't look now. The 2 car is coming up to join this battle. He's not going away. Only a 5-6 between them, between the top 3, that is. It's a half second for the top 3.
Everyone else continues to hold on. It's still Burrows downstairs. Thurston back to 2nd. Caudill under a 2nd. Mosteller under a 2nd. Steinmeier back there in 5th. Still holding on to it. You see Vila on the outside lane in 7th, trying to get the drive off corner exit.
Charging up top, he's going to battle Armstrong for 6th. The 20 down low. The 1 with the run up top. Does he have the position? Yes, he does. He has the spot at the line in the corner, pulls ahead.
Everyone continues to hold on. You can see Thurston back to a 2-8, 2-7. How about Joseph Armstrong into the Elite 8? Baker is still there. All these drivers are going to start shuffling them out. One difference, the 42 playing the long game. Brower playing the long game. They need to go ahead and hold on. This race could still very easily go green.
And the 2 has not let the 14 get away. While Burrows gets a little bit bigger of a lead, the 14, the 2, the 9, 23, all the top 5 pulling away from the field.
Everyone continues to hold on. Still Caudill back to that 5-8. Burrows will be under fire at some point. Thurston continuing to get the drive down off. We talked about how aggressive he is on entry, on exit. Nonetheless, this is the highest the 9 has been to finding the lead, still in that fast 4.
But up front, the 2 looking right at the rear bumper of the 14. Only about a car length, maybe car length and a half between them. And now the 14 is starting to run down Burrows.
And I continue to watch onto it. Joe's going to be under fire from Baker. Vila may be under fire soon as well. We'll continue to keep an eye on it. Nonetheless, the caution is out again. and we get ready for a restart. May have been the 8 machine. That's Brother Baker.
Well, let's look at the replay here, but I just want to let you know we're talking about old comeback here.
Oh.
The 7 is involved with the 12 of Brower.
Yeah, he got into him. That's all on New Biggin.
That is classic Bristol right there. 2 cars going for the same spot. Both of them pay dearly for it.
Not enough room. And we'll get ready to try it again.
You see the 7 running it back up there. Still stays on the lead lap. A really good night that was going for New Biggin. Now getting a little soured, but still plenty of time to bring back that Chevy up front. And he's going to still be 15th on the lead lap.
Let's get ready to try it again.
Everyone's pitting.
Burns will get the lucky dog. Swearingen will line up back there in 17th. And we get ready to rock and roll just one more time. So we're going to have about 16, maybe 17 left on the lead lap. If I'm Swaggy, I stay out here. I think that's exactly what he's doing. So we're looking at 17 on the lead lap. Joyner 1 lap down. Maybe Jeffries 1 lap down as well.
So a lot of players being brought back into this as we approach 100 to go. Getting almost to the final bit here of the second third of the race. Watching them on pit road, shuffling about. And out here, Joyner, Minguez, Swearingen, and that 8 of Brother Baker all staying out for now as the lead lap cars pit.
It's going to be interesting to see how this rolls on through. I mean, if I'm Mavic, you know, coming out of pit row, this is a big opportunity for him to get something done. The question is, he is ahead on the top of the board. Did he take 2 tires? That's what we're going to go ahead and look for here. Oh, he's going to be your race leader.
That is gutsy.
I think it's 2 tires. And he's going to be out in front of Burrows. Thurston's going to be out in front of Burrows. 2 tires versus 4 tires. Let's see if this works.
He's got to try. I think what he needs to do, he needs to try and lead those laps. If you lead a lap, you get a bonus point. Just like old school NASCAR. You lead the most laps, another bonus point. He has the pole. He's trying to get max points in this race if he can. Probably has the fastest lap at this point. So it is a gutsy move. But the way these cautions are coming out, track position does matter like this. And he showed he has a good car out front.
Max Swearingen. Back there with Dominguez, back there with Joyner. We'll all get back at least 1 lap, and we will get ready to try it again. This time by, we go ahead and get the 1 to go. Lights off, top of your screen.
And with these guys taking 2 tires, the difference of speed of takeoff, could we see another restart caution out of this?
It's going to be tough to figure that one out. I mean, if I'm Mavic, I'm on the bottom. I'm back to finally where I needed to be, right? But you got damage. Burrows has damage. Thurston has damage. Thurston's not a long-run driver. Burrows is a long-run driver. The 2 is a long-run driver, and you're back out in front of the 9. I think we just have to see how this plays out.
Like I said, it is a good, gutsy call. It's probably something you'll need to know for the end of the race, so try it out. We'll probably get another caution. Just don't be the caution.
Let's get ready to try it again. 130, now 129 laps to go from Bristol. Mavic holding on to it through 1 and 2. Thurston on the outside, finds his way through Burrows. They single filed out for the fast 4.
Huge takeoff for the 42. The 14 goes up the hill, and Mavic gonna lead him back to line, but the 14 right there trying to slide it up towards the wall.
Thurston up near the outside, safer barrier, is able to bring it back downstairs. Still 18 the difference. You got Burrows back to the 4-7. You got Cottle back to 4th. Mosteller under fire. That's William Schmidt finding his way through. The Moss pit for the 25 on back.
And a rough restart for Mosteller. Back to 7th, trying to get 6th now from Baker. Gonna get it this time. Behind him, side by side, Vila and Armstrong.
TCB will not give up the good fight there on the 9. Vila looking to get it back as well. They got a new rear end for that 1 machine. You got Joe in the mix. You got Steinmeier in the mix. It's still working lap 175 at 300. Thurston's trying to close on in. Nemos is fading back to 8th.
He's back to 8th with Armstrong right behind him in 9th. He's going to look high. The 9 car almost getting hung out to dry on the bottom.
He's still looking for a way through, at least to hold on. Vila will hold on to 7th. Thurston back to a 3-6. Most of the issues tonight have come from about 4th on back. That's where you really don't want to be. Rear to wheel, Max Steinmeier on the outside of the 7 of New Bigging.
This is the battle for 10th. New Bigging has it for now. The 23 tries to get the run. He stays there, keeps his nose, but Brower's going to follow the 7 through.
30 the difference, 29 the difference. Thurston is starting to close back into Braden Movick. But if you're the 9, you can't have anyone else pass you. You still want a good point stay. Lap 179 at 300. Burrows and Cottle closing back in. The fast four getting ready to go under fire.
They are, and I want to bring up those points being lost by the 9 with the 42 up front. That cuts a probably good third out of the 9's points lead in one night. He has to make up those spots up front. Movick about 2.5 tenths now between him and Thurston. Nobody getting away this time.
2-2 the difference, 2-1 the difference, and now it's even back out. Chevy on Chevy, that's the top 2. You still got Burrows in 3rd. You still got Cottle back to 4th. They've all lined back in under now a 7-4. What goes on behind? Joseph Armstrong has lost the grip on the 9 machine. Vila has regained the grip back on the 25. That will soon be the battle for 6. Up front is what you got to keep an eye on because Movick has lost the speed of Thurston.
Thurston right now, 2 tenths about between them, and Burrows keeping up with him. Cadell keeping up with him. A second between the top 5.
They've all lined it back down to that inside lane. Burrows still looking for a peek underneath. Cottle still back to a 6. Mostly lined in and loaded, but really nowhere to go for him. Now William Schmidt is under a second. That's 5 drivers with a shot at the lead as of this moment. Everybody seems to be faster than the 42.
It's like the 42 is holding them up, half a second between them, and it seems like they're having to check up in the corner, each one of them getting closer to the other because of those 2 tires up front.
James Thurston trying to go and creep on in. He's got it locked on that inside lane. Anthony Burrows creeping on in. He's got it locked downstairs. Conveyor belt Bristol is back, but I continue to watch on with the 9 because he closes on into the 1. And Joe is nowhere to be seen. Right now, he tries to make up 2 spots here as Baker runs wide.
And he's going to get the run off. Vila back in 7th. Baker's in 6th. And he gets the run off again. It looks like it's settled for now, but the 9 is coming.
Yeah, you can see him. He's going to be looking for a way around Vila. Vila's got it parked on that inside lane. Daniel Mosteller continues to try to find a way through. If you're James Thurston, knocking on the door. The McDonald's 42, back to the line, 188 to 300.
Well, you're knocking on the door because the 3 behind you are pushing you. Only 9 tenths, maybe 8 between the top 5. He's got to move or he'll be moved.
Thurston looking to be the first driver to get 2 wins on the season. He looks back to the inside, not able to get anything. You look behind, that's Burrows, that's Cottle, that's Schmidt back to 5th. TCB just 2 seconds back in 6th. Everybody has caught the 42 machine. If you're Thurston, you want to find a way through right away.
You want to find a way through, but don't cause another caution. The 42 keeping it about a lane off the bottom, and that keeps the 14 about 2 tenths back.
Top 2 under fire so far. Burrows kind of just backing it up. He knows this race could go green. There's only 110 laps to go. What do you do if you're back there in 3rd right now? Do you apply the pressure? I wouldn't. I would wait for these 2 to dogfight it out, because what happens at Bristol when you get down to the late race stages? Top 2 use a little bit too much of each other.
Yeah, ride it out. Save your tires. You have a bit worn tires out for the leader. You have Thurston, a short run car. Let the race come to you, and you'll be able to pass both these guys in no time.
Braden Movick back to the line, still 15-16 the difference. Thurston has got it locked down to that inside lane. That Chevrolet has not given up the stride to find the race lead. He's still locked into the bottom. Nothing has changed from about 15-16 on back.
And looking at Movick, he's just trying to hold back the 14, trying to get those tires in any way to equalize. But Thurston looking low. This might be the opportunity. No. The 42 gets the run in better.
Movick just shut the door, making sure that 14 doesn't find a way through. The Burger Wars, they're on up front. Working lap 195 at 300. How many times can you cross the bow of the 14 without getting your rear end clipped? We're about to find out, because Thurston's trying to chuck it on in.
And Burrows and Cadell and the 2 already making up ground. They're trying to find a way past the 14 so they can make a run. but Thurston run off the corner, gets right up to the rear bumper of the McDonald Chevy.
We watched the top two, but Anthony Burrows is there. That Mobil 1 Ford has creeped on in. William Schmidt has creeped on in. Braden Movick under fire. Thurston still working the bottom.
Playing defense up front, though. He goes up high last time by to take the run away from Thurston. Now, only a little under 2/10 between them. The 14 tries low again as Movick is about a half lane off the bottom.
He's still looking for that way around. Can't get it there. He's going to try it again on this set of the course. You still got lap machines in front. That's the new game plan right here that you got put in. Burns in the outside wall. Movick up to lane 2. Thurston on the inside lane. Still can't get it done. How do you navigate the 06 to go back downstairs?
And that was the last car in the lead lap for the moment, but it looks like NR's Ryan Newman's going to let him by. Really tough for the 14. And now Movick gets a little breathing room.
Hey, you can see Burrows trying to go and creep on in. You got Cottle around the outside lane. Now he's going to look for a way through. Burrows downstairs. Puts his rear end back to the Chevrolet. Thurston wanting a drive. Just 100 laps to go as Spencer Burns slams the outside wall.
Schmidt has fallen away from this battle. It's 4 cars, 29 cars a lap down. The 14 of Thurston looks low. Everyone follows.
Yeah, you can't find a way through just yet. You got to navigate the wildness that's now off the pace before you can go ahead and give it to the driver up front. Problem is, Thurston is still not able to find a way through the 42. Here's another thing. Championship hunt. Mosteller is under fire there to Vila. And Baker, that could be an easy switch from 8 to 6.
That could be. It also, we've seen before, could be a wreck starting up. But they keep it rolling up front. Movick now about 3/10, maybe 2.7 between the leaders.
Oh, Baker almost into the outside wall, way wide. You can see Vila getting that huge drive off. We are watching this from the distance, and you can see TCB will not give this up. If you're the 9, you could get the 2 for 1, or you think long-term saying, hey, let's just get to Indy. Right now, they continue to hold this wheel. Baker won't yield. Top 2 under fire. How about 6th and 7th under fire?
Because we were so preoccupied with that battle for the lead. We're under 100 to go. Final third of this race. Battling now for 6th. Back and forth. Baker in the wall. Still gets the run. Trying to keep the 6th spot.
Huge run off corner exit, and TCB's able to hold on, but he will not give up that outside lane. You still got the 1 downstairs. You still got the 9 creeping. Joseph Armstrong is reeling him in back there in 9. Vila trying to make up the crowd downstairs.
Baker near wall riding this thing, but he keeps it hooked up top. Vila's going to try and follow 25 in the wall. Mosteller right behind him. At this point, do you try and go for the aggressive move, or you just let them wreck each other?
I'd be worried right here if you're the 9. If you're the 1, easy going. Not gonna happen.
And they save it.
Unbelievable.
And now the 9 makes it past the 25, looking to attack the 1.
Demos sits right in the middle. Mosteller doing a great job. Well, he gets 1. You might as well take 2. He looks to the inside of the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Vila now goes top to defend. Mosteller on the bottom, still looking for that wheel-to-wheel.
But he's going to get cleared by Vila now. 9 car sits in 7th behind him. Baker up top, but battle up front. The 14's car has fallen off. Movick half a second over Burrows. Cadell only about 2/10 behind him.
And the 14 starts being the anchor in the water. What was 2nd is now 4th and could carry back to 5th. Here's the thing, Anthony Burrows is closing in on Movick. We watch what goes on here, but we need to keep an eye on the 1 and the 9. If Mosteller continues to make up time and Movick wins, time's running out. You can't rely on Indy. You need the 42 to win. You need the 9 to have a mistake. But both these machines have been under so much pressure and will not give up.
And now only about a quarter second between the top 2 up front. About 2 car lengths between those 2 in the back of Vila and Mosteller. This is your distance from 2nd to 3rd. Cadell trying to roll in on Burrows. This is the distance for the lead, right there at the McDonald Chevrolet.
4-4 back, now 19 back for the 2nd place spot. If they go wheel-to-wheel, if you're Cottle, where do you go? Do you wait like the 9, or do you attack like the driver you have been the last couple of races? If you keep it on the 2, he's going to look for the weakness in the water. Nonetheless, on their feet they go. The battle for the lead is on.
You got to pass Burrows before he gets past Movick. Burrows has been the best long-run car of the night. Movick has 2 tires. They're almost side by side. You got to get by him and pass the 42 and try to just run away and hide.
Under 100 laps to go, and this is the great race in action that you get to see. Here comes Connell down to the inside, looking for a way around Burrows. Burrows will not be able to get it done on the 42. The door gets shut and reopened to the center of the corner. Mubik with the drive off. Mubik looks to hold on. He gets it back to the line.
Great move up at the top side, pulls about a car length or so, but Burrows gonna reel him back in again, and now again, Mubik about a half lane off the bottom. Burrows about a half car length off his bumper.
16 back, 14 back. That continues as they go nose to tail. It's on. Mosteller to the inside of Schmidt. Should be an easy move as Schmidt gives him the lane. That's going to be tight. Here comes Burrows back to the inside.
Mubik gets the runoff again, but this time might be too much. No, it's not. He clears him again.
It's going to be the chess match of the night right here. 3 drivers under a blanket. It's Chevy versus Ford. 2 blue ovals, 1 bow tie. Working lap 220 out of 300.
At this point, that 42 needs a caution. So everyone has to go back down pit road for tires because the top 3 are still 3/10 apart. Somehow, the 42 has become the National Department of Defense.
Cottle is now closing big time back to the rear end of Burrows. Everyone continues to hold on in the top 3. Burrows will not give up that inside lane. Here's the deal. Thurston is losing time.
Oh, he's got it.
Vila is losing time. Burrows again look to the bottom. This will open the door for the deuce.
It's like you said, a chess game. That time the 42 got loose. Still can close the door on Burrows. Coming up on Burns again, top 3 under a blanket.
And here's the thing, if you're the 62, you can put your chips in the middle and go wheel to wheel. What if you wash up? You open the door for Cottle. Another lap machine, Spencer Burns. Top 3 goes to the inside, back nose to tail.
And now to the bottom, taps him a little bit. Burrows sends him up top, but still races him clean. Car length between them. Mubik keeps the lead.
James Thurston under fire by Vila, under fire by Mosteller. The 9 needs to find his way through because Mubik will not give up this race lead. What a comeback from early in this race. Laps fading away, the best of the best under a blanket.
Burrows right there, just a little bit. He can reach out and grab him. 42 slides high, but still keeps it ahead of Burrows.
This time by 75 to go. He washes wide, needs to drive off. He looks, he peaks, a huge margin back to the inside lane.
Now Mubik goes up high. He gets past for a moment, gets the run off, side by side for the lead, clears him as they enter 1.
You still see Mubik holding on. You see Burrows looking for a way through again. Back on that inside lane. Mubik drives it in deep. Burrows rolls the center. They're all back wheel to wheel down off corner exit.
And again, defense works as the 42 keeps the lead, keeps it down low. Better entrance into the corner. He's going to get about a half car length on Burrows.
If you're Anthony Burrows, are you thinking you're running out of time? Because the 2 is getting restless. Top 3 under a blanket. Working lap 228 to 300.
And don't look now, but Vila's starting to run them down as they battle. Mubik up high again, clears the 62 again.
Here's the deal from what's going on behind. Thurston to 6, Schmidt to 7, Mosteller in the top 5. Here comes Burrows, back to the inside. Mubik needs a roller coaster launch off the outside lane. He's gonna get it. They're still back wheel to wheel for the lead.
But this time they enter side by side. 42 has to keep it up top. Can he get the run off again? He does.
It's still Cotto back there in 3rd. It's still Mubik locking it down on the inside lane. 70 laps to go when they come around this time by. Vila 1-4 back. He's closing in. We could have a 4, maybe 5-car battle for this race win.
Mosteller's following him up towards the front. These guys here behind him, Burrows and Cadell, have to make their move soon or the 1 and 9 will be on him.
Burrows back to the inside. The deuce looking as well. Mubik is still holding on to that outside lane. He's going to clear again on the 4. Not so fast.
Caution's out.
And we're going to try it again. David Joyner, a lot of damage.
Running unmodified at this point.
Man, I was kind of hoping for that to go green.
Yeah, but now equal tires with all of these guys. We're going to really see which one of these top 3 or 4 is actually the best guy out there now.
If you're the 42, you're thankful for this, but we've seen races won and lost on pit road. You cannot lose any track position.
No, you cannot, but that was key. Him holding off those guys for that long. That had to be, what, 30, 40, maybe 50 laps holding them off? That was impressive, and that might have just saved his season if he can pull off the comeback. He's on pit road now.
Let's go look at it. On the outside lane, lined up there with Burns. Burns in the wall, and got David Joyner.
I wonder if we looked at the percent of cautions this year caused by Burns, what it would be.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're getting word. The admins have had enough, shall we say. With the driver of the 06, Spencer Burns has been parked for the remainder of this race. Burrows, Movic, Cottle, and Vila, fast forward. We have a new admin up there. There's something about Drew Jua. If you don't know about him, he does not care who you are, what you've done. 2 incidents this race. Spencer Burns will not finish this one out. Burrows, Movic, back there with Vila. All back down on pit road. Right side's going up on the 42. That's big.
This race off pit road is going to be huge for who wins this race. 62 gets off pit road ahead. It's everyone passes the 42. What happens?
Is he stuck in the pits? I think he has to repair damage.
With 65 to go, probably 62 when we bring it back under green.
He's going to be 11th, maybe 12th. Wilkerson's still down there. Swearigan coming up. Braden Movic is not going anywhere. Is there a problem with this 42?
I don't know, because he was running out there just fine.
He's going to get lapped. Oh, no.
We got to wait for the 62. Yeah, he did. What happened?
Unbelievable. Wow. We're going to figure this one out before we go green.
And already, the chat's gotten it wrong with our poll, asking who we thought would win. Almost 60% said Movic.
This is the thing. That's the thing about racing. It's the most unpredictable thing ever.
So now,
we just got word.
What happened?
He entered the pits too early, got a 1-minute penalty.
Oh my gosh.
And he's 1 lap down. He's going to get the caution to win this race.
He's going to need a miracle to win this race at this point.
Wow. Remember I said before how he got to pit road after that incident? He timed it perfect. He didn't time it perfect this time. We got the one to go.
Wow. That's... Of all the ways to lose a race like that.
Here's the thing, though. You still got the deuce. You still got Burrows. We got the Fords up front. We're getting ready to try to get... Do not count them out. We've seen how things go on. This is the most unpredictable race of the season. Let's see who's going to victory lane. Kromek here one more time. Burrows to the lead, down into 1 and 2.
Vila gets the run down low, side by side. Cadell up to second, and now Demos looking for third.
He's looking for a way through. Right now, the opportunity still very much is there as they work their way back off corner exit. Mosteller looking for a second win of the season. Cottle locked in on the bottom. It's still Schmidt wheel to wheel. Vila downstairs holding on to it.
Top 3 starting to run away with it. Now Daniel Mosteller trying to throw his hat in the ring. Can he win this thing?
Baker just slammed the outside wall. Thurston's got it locked on the bottom. Look at the try there for the 25.
Huge run by the 25. Now he's all the way up to 6th.
Burrows pulling away. 60 laps to go for Bristol. Can Connell close on in? I still think he's thinking long term.
Mosteller in third, starting to fall a little off the 2's bumper. Schmidt right up on him.
And Muvic's got to get something to work out right here. Same with Douglas Newbing, and they've got to get something at least to work in their favor. But we talked about minimizing mistakes. Too many mistakes have caused too many issues. Right now you see it. Cottle still has not lost time there to Burrows. He's saving those tires, so not over. James Thurston on the outside.
He's making a run up towards the front, back up to 6th, trying to clear the 25 car, but they remain side by side.
Hey, you see Thurston making up ground. You can see Vila trying to make up ground. 3-1 the difference. 3-2 the difference for Cottle. Mosteller back to a 6-5. Working lap 244 of 245.
Burrows has the race in hand for now, but Cadell has been getting better and better as the run goes on. Behind him, he's putting a gap on Mosteller, now closer to the leader than third.
Everyone else continues to shuffle about. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Fast 4. Vila back there in 5th. Thurston back there in 6th. Armstrong, New Biggin back to 9th. Max Steinmeier back there in 10th. The 42 needs a caution. The question is, will he get it?
With 54 to go, he needs a caution quick, because if there's a caution late, he might not have enough time to make it up, even with some green-white checkers. Up front, though, the 2 keeping about 3/10 or less between him and the 62. We might see a fight for the lead.
This 9 machine has been quiet all night long. Welcome to 3rd, Daniel Mosteller. The thing is, Cottle closes on in on Burrows. This will be the battle for the lead.
And only about a quarter second between them, but Cadell is coming up on that 62. They keep it about even off the corner. A little bit of a gain, but not enough to really put a huge dent into it yet.
Back nose to tail on the inside lane. Burrows, 2-4 the difference. And I still think that 2 machine can find his way through, but the only thing is you gotta be smart coming out of the later stage of this race. Not a lot of cars are left running, at least on the racing surface. You may not get a yellow, so you've got to go ahead and hold on no matter what's at stake.
At this point, with 50 to go, yes, you can get that yellow. But like you said, only about 16, 17 cars on track. You got to make the move now if you're the 2 car. Because if that 62 gets stronger as the run goes on, I'd much rather want to hold him off, as the 42 showed us, than try and pass him.
James Thurston in 6 under fire from the lap machine. That's the 42. Cottle back in 2nd, 2-9 the difference. Mosteller, 7-3 the difference. Lined up down the back, so you can still see Cottle trying to make up that time. I don't think he's got the opportunity to win this race. It may come down between the top 2.
It probably is, but I want to say that the 9 sitting in 3rd, no mistakes all night, no damage all night, just ran a clean race at what is pretty much his worst track, and might leave here with a top 3 finish.
27 the difference, 26 the difference, less than 50 to go here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Anthony Burrows has been the leader. He's been the driver in 2nd, 3rd all night long. We have seen a shuffle, a rally. Things continue to change as this race has gone on. How about wheel to wheel? Schmidt back there with Vila on the outside. Cottle, 3-2 the difference, trying to bring it back to that 62.
2 cars doing about everything he can do so far to just keep up with the 62. But Burrows' car gets stronger as the run goes on. He's starting to pull him a bit, but the 2 starting to pull back to it.
Cottle trying to go to make up that time. He was under a 2.5, now back to a 3.3. May need lap traffic to go ahead and play a vital role in this race. Thurston in 6. Schmidt back to 5th. Armstrong back in 8th. New Biggin back to 9th. Everyone else is all lined up. You can still see Max Steinmeier, another one soon to be under fire, well outside this top 5.
Some of these guys were contenders early in the night. Their cars could not hang with the leaders. So now battling for about the 8th position on back, but reeling in Baker in 7th, who just can't get that high side hooked up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what some of these guys are able to do. Cottle's going to try to get under a 30 here. But you continue to watch on Joseph Armstrong. What a rally. Internet issues early, up to 8. In my opinion, that's a great day for the 20. William Schmidt back there in 5th. Thurston back in 6th. What it could be for this 42 right now, no clue. He finds his way through. The driver flat was in 6th. He continues to try to pedal. 60 on the board right now, coming with 40 to go.
He's gonna need that caution, but up front, the 2 probably isn't gonna need a caution. He's running down Burrows, the leader, again back down to a .27 just for the lead. He's gonna enter in a little bit higher, stay off the bottom when Burrows didn't, and Burrows gets the run off.
40 laps to go, wind it down to 39. Lap traffic. Chad Jeffries back to the outside, looks for the way through. He drops back. It's still Cottle with a 2.8 the difference. Hey, it's changing the forward momentum. We got a battle for the lead that's getting ready to rage on.
Yep, and it's a 2 still slowly but surely running down that Mobile 1 Ford.
He's got something here. I'm telling you, this is not over for him. He's going to have that speed, carrying back down off corner exit. Burrows is going to have to make it wide. Mosteller back there in third. He's out of contention right now. This could be the battle for the win.
They put almost a full second now on Demos in third, so the battle is between these two. Burrows keeping it glued to the bottom. If the 2 is going to pass him, he needs to hook up the high side.
The game at 10, so we talked about it earlier. Every version of Bristol came in tonight. 2020 Bristol, 2010s Bristol. Now we're back to the conveyor belt on the inside lane where it becomes the game of 10s. Who can make what? On entry, on exit. Connell lost that lap. The thing is, he's got to win every other lap to get back to the rear end of the Ford.
Well, with about 34 to go and doing about 4 laps a minute at this point, time is running out. Unlike other tracks, this is not a lot of time for the 2 to get past. He needs to either figure out, do I boot him out of the way? Do I go up on the high side? How do you set this 62 car up to get past him?
Well, guess what? 2.8, 2.7 the difference. If you're under a 3, you're in the area where you can perform the bump and run. If Cottle really wanted to, you could have drove it in deep, maybe just clip that rear end. I would say best case scenario to do it and do it respectively under a 10. Under a 15, you're there. You want to win or do you want to finish second? Right now, back nose to tail. Here's the thing. Burrows is starting to make up more time, and you're coming down to 30 to go.
And behind him, you can see it in the distance. Daniel Mosteller being challenged by Abraham Vila, who's up on the high side, going for third.
Hey, you can see he's trying to go ahead and get that run off. Mosteller lost that rear end. He's going to drop back to fourth. Vila will go ahead and find his way to third. Cottle is losing time again. 30 laps to go this time by. Schmidt in fifth. Thurston in 6th, TCB back to 7th. Time's running out. Something's got to change.
He's done this before, though. He's fallen back a little bit and then made the time back up. But this time, about the furthest this run, he has fallen back, but makes up about 200s, loses them off. So these cars are about even. It's just about who doesn't make a mistake.
That's going to be a big difference maker when it comes down to it. You can still see Vila 183 back. Mosteller way back, as well as we continue to go ahead and rally back to the start finish line. Working lap 273 at 300. Cottle, Vila, Mosteller all in the top 4. Everyone continues to watch what's going on with the top 2.
Now, could the 2 be saving his stuff a little bit? It's a bit gutsy this late in the race, but saving his stuff for one good run at Burrows for the finish.
That's exactly what it could be coming down to. I mean, see Burrows, they've stopped the bleeding again. So they're around that 39, 38 mark. Back to a 4. It's going to continue to sway back and forth. Both these drivers are veterans in iRacing. They've been on the sim for a long time. The thing is, if you're Cottle, you've been in this position and gone to victory lane. Burrows has been in that same position you have, and he knows what the leader needs to do to not lose it right coming back to the start-finish line.
And it looks like that time by Burrows made up about another half-tenth over the 2. He's starting to gap him even more. The 2 is almost a half-second back now.
Yeah, they've all lined it back down that inside lane. Half a second. Now it continues to go ahead and grow. Vila, 2-2 back. Mosteller, 2-7 back. Cottle, nearly 6 back. It's swaying again with 24 coming to 23 to go.
And it's now almost 6/10 back between the 2 leaders. Burrows starting to pull the gap through the corners. Another half-tenth there.
Yeah, it's starting to go ahead and see that big switch. You look back, everyone else continues to go ahead and switch things up. You got Steinmeier in 11th. You got Newbigging back to 12th. Cottle half a second again. We're going to continue to keep an eye on it. Caution's going to wave.
And who was it for?
No clue. Maybe William Schmidt? No, Max Werge, no nose. No rear end as well.
Now, we saw Muvik stay out earlier on or stay out at least on 2 tires. If you're somebody in the back with less than 20 to go, if you're a Steinmeier, a Wilkerson, Walker, Armstrong, Baker, you're not going to get to the front with just doing the same thing the leaders do. Do you stay out? Do you take 2 tires? Do you take that gutsy call? 62 and the 2 stay out. Everyone stays out. Are the pits open or?
I think they're worried about that same situation, that pitting early. Newbigging.
Ooh.
And this opens the door for a lock of the 9.
Yeah, this might be the race that has firmly won Mosteller the championship. Still, 3 races to go, but it's going to be tough for these guys to run him down now.
Yeah, Max Steinmeier damage on the nose. And we will get ready for a shootout.
Now everyone's going down pit road. Do you do something different? Do you stay like on 2 tires? If you're even Vila or Mosteller, somebody that is running 3rd or 4th, but you're not going to beat them by doing the same thing they do.
Burrows and Connell coming to pit road.
Everybody in for stops. No one overshot their pit stall. You see the race off. And Burrows gets out front.
Yeah, very easy. I think that was the tires.
Armstrong in 2nd.
And Joe hasn't been a factor all race long.
Well, if you're going to become one late, now later, better late than never.
19 laps to go. Vila back to 5th. Mosteller back to 6th. Schmidt lined up in, and we get ready to go ahead and try it once more. Getting word, Braden Bubbick out of the race.
DNF'd. Oh, man. Going to finish in the 16th position. Now the only driver left on track that has not been involved in a recent incident, still in the fight with Demos, is the 14 of Thurston, lining up 3 spots behind him.
Lot machine, that's the 8, getting ready to go back around. Burrows, Armstrong, Cottle, and Vila fast 4 as we get ready to try it again.
I gotta say,
restart.
If you don't have the lead, taking possibly 2 tires, as it looks like the 20 did, what can you do to just keep up with the 62? Or is it, again, the 2 on the bottom, the 62 and the 2 car, do they run off all over again and rekindle that battle they had earlier?
Well, it's going to be Ford versus Toyota, row number 1. Ford versus Chevrolet, row number 2. Mosteller, Baker back to row number 3.
Lights out. Next time
we
by.
get one more shot at it. Time to roll one more time. Lights off, top of the pace car. As we get ready to try it again.
That bottom line looks strong, though.
It's going to be an interesting restart.
Yes, it is. Pace car off.
Ford versus Toyota. 16 laps to go for Bristol. Burrows on the bottom, Joe on the outside to drive off. Burrows up top to squeeze.
He's got him cleared. Solid restart for the 20, though, but not enough. Burrows gonna gap him side by side for 2nd. Armstrong holding them off for now.
Starting to see Baker up to the outside lane. He's under fire as well. That's Thurston. Vila on the bottom, wheel to wheel. He's still at the 2 machine. Burrows looking to pull away.
And Vila cannot get past the 20 car, and Cottle is stuck behind him.
Still see Armstrong on the outside lane, trying to get the drive off. He does, still wheel to wheel. Vila downstairs, Cottle, call it 3 wide, battle for 2nd.
Still can't make it happen, though. The 20 keeps him behind again.
He's got that outside lane rolling. Everyone jumps to the top. Joe's going to have to try to run him down. Just 13 laps to go. You got to get something to work.
But for now, it's almost half a second between Burrows and Armstrong. Armstrong's making up ground. He loses it in and then gains it off.
He's still trying to get that drive off corner exit. Still see Cottle there. You still see Vila back on that inside lane, holding that wheel-to-wheel. Cottle's trying to go ahead and get the drive off. Easily finding his way through the 1.
Armstrong just made up a 10th that time by, though. He loses it in, but gets a great run off side by side for 2nd with Cottle. And this is going to get him about half a second now behind Burrows. The 2's loose and behind the 20.
They've got to sit single file if they want to go and catch Burrows. They may fight each other, but AB's able to just continue to go and pull away. We've seen how strong Joe is on the outside line. We're not stronger than anyone else. Another launch off, 9 to go.
And he makes up ground all over again. Entering the corner, 3-6 behind. Falls back to a 5-2. And now losing ground all over again. They're racing among each other. It's letting Burrows run away with it.
Cottle on the bottom, Armstrong on the outside. Another drive. 4, 8, 4, 9, the difference. See him trying to slide right in front of the one of Vila. 8 to go, 7 to go this time by. Time's running out. Clock continues to tick. Will it be 7 different races, 7 different winners?
While the 1 is now side by side with the 2, pulling up behind the 20, 7/10 behind the leader now. These guys are just running for second at this point.
They see it 3 wide, back to the middle.
Ooh, it's gonna get tight.
Vila trying to make up the ground. Armstrong trying to clear. Not able to get it done. 5 to go, coming this time by.
And the 20 solidly in second. The 1 and the 2 running for the 3rd spot. Vila's gonna finally clear him.
Able to see him back nose to tail on that outside lane. Burrows on the bottom. Armstrong on the outside. Vila tucks it back to the inside, wheel to wheel. Trying to drive it back down on in. 4 to go this time by.
And again, the 20 clears him. Mosteller's made it past Thurston as well. He's back to the top 5.
Joseph Armstrong, Abraham Vila, Cottle on the outside lane, still holding the wheel to wheel. You can see Joe continue to hold that outside lane strong. No, there goes the 2.
Shades of 2012, where Kenseth and Stewart did the same, and we're going to go to overtime.
And we will try it again.
So Burrows running away with this thing, but the guys in 3rd and 4th bringing out the caution. Does anyone have anything for the 62 after this?
I don't know. It's going to be tough. Watch it again. Vila comes up, catches Cottle, and with 3 laps to go, we will have another restart.
Oh, man. So the running order is Burrows, Armstrong, Mosteller, Thurston, and Schmidt the top 5, or is it Cottle up there? He's going to stay in the top 5, though probably a good bit of damage after that wreck.
3 to go, coming to 2 to go. We're going to go to overtime. For the 3rd time this season, Demos to pit road. Burrows, no, never mind.
Him out. First one down is the 2. He was in that crash, and just a few back markers coming in now.
And we get ready to settle this off.
So the looks of it is the top 7, as they will roll out, have stayed out. The furthest back of those being Baker. Yeah, there he is down on the track on the bottom. Those in pit road passing for now, but he'll be past them.
We're going to have an interesting restart here because the 9 has not been aggressive. This is his opportunity to get aggressive. Some of these other guys, I mean, I don't know how you play this out if you're Armstrong, Burrows.
Well, if you're Thurston and you have any shot at getting this championship, you've got to pass the 9 now. You can't let him get those extra points over you. Already coming in here 56 back, he has to make up some points on him at the very least.
2 laps to decide a winner. As we get ready to try it again. Dominguez lined up in. No, if I'm Burrows.
Now Armstrong, for a while, had that high side hooked up and did get a good restart. If he gets that again, could he sneak one past him?
Let's get ready to roll. 2 laps to go before we go ahead and crack this one off. If I'm Burrows right now, I would be in full defense mode because things might get dicey here as we get ready to try it again. Just one more time. End our night in America, feeling victories all year long as we get ready to rock and roll. Let's get ready to go green. Lights off, this time by.
So on the bottom, you're going to have Burrows, Mosteller, and Schmidt. Up top, Armstrong, Thurston, and Walker.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls on through. I mean, this 2x2, Joe on the outside, Burrows on the bottom. Mosteller versus Thurston. It's going to be a shootout. You see Joe warming those tires up. He's going to have to try to be at least dead even with that 62 down to 1.
At this point, is it just checkers or wreckers? A lot of these guys, most of them, all out of any championship contention. Many of them, trophy hunters. I say you just do anything possible to win.
I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, you just got to be smart. You got to be consistent. Lights off, top of the pace car. Here we go. 2 laps to decide a winner. Green again from Thunder Valley. Burrows clears. Thurston at the outside. Joseph Armstrong not able to get the charge.
Mosteller fighting for second with Armstrong. He's going to try and get the top hooked up. Burrows fires away. 1 lap to go.
Sonora Blanca, 1 to go from Bristol. Armstrong on the outside, defending on the 9. Schmidt lined up and loaded. It's not going to work out for the driver second on back because Anthony Burrows will become the 7th different winner this season. Burrows victorious from Thunder Valley. Armstrong second, Mosteller in third, and that's how it all ends.
Wow. I feel like this race almost was a race of just people giving it away, and those who made the least amount of mistakes or had the most tenacity to get to the front, they were the ones who managed to get the dub tonight.
Nonetheless, it was a lot of fun. Anthony Burrows in Ford will capture the flag. Are we going to have 10 different races with 10 different winners? Who knows?
At this rate, you might as well have a bunch of trophy hunters come in the way these guys are going, because no matter who's running up front all year, no matter who is going to be leading the most laps, it just seems like we're destined to have all these different winners.
Parks it on the start-finish line. We're going to go ahead and talk to him before we go ahead. We want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned on in tonight. Burrows victorious, and we get ready to hear on how it all went down at our night in America, feeling victories all year long. What a drive. What a night. As round 7 comes to a close, we want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned on in once more. Burrows, this is John. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Walk me through that win.
Dude, I have no clue, man. I kind of got a little lucky at the beginning with Movic getting in an incident with the lap cars, and was able to get the lead off the next restart and kind of just took control over it. I think like lap 220, I was trying to work around Movic, and dude, I just couldn't find my way around him, and then he made that pit road mistake, and then after that, once I got the clean air, it was smooth sailing. Almost got beat by Joe on the second last restart, so I had a bit of a heart attack there, but held him off coming off 2 and just, yeah, drove a good race.
Well, it was a lot of fun to see you do that. You want to say anything to anyone back at home?
Yeah, shout out, I don't know if I have anyone watching tonight, but shout out to all the viewers tonight. Shout out to you guys for putting the broadcast on. I'm excited to watch it back, so yeah, awesome race though. I had a lot of fun.
Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it, man.
Well, that's how it goes ahead and ends. 7 races, 7 different winners, and a championship that's all but locked up. Jarrett, you have anything to say?
I'm just scratching my head all night. All night, that 9 car, for instance, was way in the back. All night. It was the 42 that looked like he was going to win. It was the 14 with the short runs. But in the end, Burrows just played it smart, played it safe, and deservedly got the victory.
Well, it was a lot of fun to see. We want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned on in so far tonight that went through the entire broadcast. Hey, next we got Indy. That's coming up. That's race number 8.
May 16th, this channel, the Brickyard 400. We're bringing it back. Hey, NASCAR won't bring it back. We'll do it then.
We're going to go and bring it back. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, the next NR night will be live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. This coming up Friday night on the IDK Player YouTube channel, where we get ready to roll it all back over there. And Jarrett, NWP, that's tomorrow.
NASCAR Weekly Podcast tomorrow night on Danny B Talks channel. We got everything to talk about. Petty's going to Toyota. I saw that there were some other announcements coming out. There's so much stuff going on. You gotta be there to catch it with us.
Gonna be a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning on in, and we'll see you next time in just 2 weeks' time.